So friends, thank you. All right. All right, so here we are. We have gotten this. Okay. Yeah, so that is me and my presbyters behind the screen. So Ascension presbyters. Okay, they're all behind me here. No. Okay. So let me share the screen with you. So for example, one, you are the clerk of your local station. You're going for a meeting. You don't need to carry phone, okay? Sometimes you carry phone and we don't even have to see your face. You have to get a laptop, right? When you have the laptop, you have to go to the video side. The video side, when you right-click the video side, you have choose virtual background. You can use a very nice background for your presentation. So as a clerk, you must always look very decent and you must always be the icon of your congregation to teach them new things. Clerk, ayoko meeting, when him cry you. Also, one I say, as a clerk, you are the second in command of your congregation, of your group. And so you must always make sure you set the bar, you set the pace for your friends to also follow. If you don't know it, let someone teach you and do it so beautifully. So for example, if you check your, I wish I can share this so that you see it, but if you go to your video, if you go to, but maybe I'll get another session to really take you through how to appear in a meeting. But today, that's not my subject, so let me concentrate on my subject for the day. Okay. All right, so the presbytery, led by the chairperson of presbytery, Papa J.J. Komidodu, has led all of us to prepare a scheme which is supposed to be in operation very soon. So let me go here, disabled. I'm using two sets of machines because, so Awuku-Gyampoh. Okay, we can co-host. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I'm sharing this. Okay, so I've shared this with you. I've shared this with you. The areas to cover today, minutes writing. I know most of you are gurus already. You are already Pro Max already. It will be a form of revision. And then we have report writing. We have been to presbytery sessions where some districts have had their reports rejected. And it's so sad, so sad to see that you write a report through the local to the district, and when it gets to the presbytery, it is rejected. It doesn't speak well of the district at all. Then we have the Presbyterian style of writing. For example, you are supposed to write a letter to your district minister, write a letter to the presbytery. How should you write it? Okay. Then you have how to make announcement. We see a lot of people gifted, having the eloquence, able to communicate well. But how do we make announcement? How do we make announcement? Then we see chronicle recording. A lot of people have chronicles. You go, you visit, and it comes and it's a fresh page. Nothing is inside. So how do we write? And what must go into the chronicle? This one, all of us will brainstorm to do that. But to straight away move to my subject matter here, the first one has to do with your minute writing. In minute writing, I have an extensive preparation on that. But whenever you write a minute and then you go for a meeting, there's something you call matters arising. Matters arising. The matters arising will be the elements that call for action. Somebody can write. I remember in the recent presentation session, I presented almost 33-page minute. That 33-page minute, which was equal to over 5 hours, we don't need to consider every item there. The items there that call for action, you begin to list them. So I'm going to present a minute to you that is not in the jurisdiction of any of the districts. Then we take the matters arising and continue with our process. So let me go to this one and continue. Yes, I'm going to disable this one, and then we'll pick the other file. So I'm coming.
Hello, hello. Is anyone there? No sound, no audio coming through.
I can hear you.
Oh, I can't hear anything. And I
Yeah,
heard you.
I'm coming. Yeah, sorry, I'd already admitted it. Sorry about that. So let me share this one. Okay, so I've done that. Okay, so I'm sharing a sample for you, a sample. Thank you for speaking out. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so thank you. First of all, let me begin by looking at the logo, the Presbyterian logo. Please note that this is the Presbyterian logo. This is the Presbyterian logo. Presby logo now in that one. And then this one is a wrong logo. This is a wrong logo. We see the this one. This one is a wrong logo. This is a very wrong logo. The one that the white crosses every area. The one that the white crosses every area is a serious wrong logo of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. So please help in identifying the right logo, those that we have used. When you go check it and see if it is the one that the white is in the middle, the one that the white is in the middle. And once you have that, you are safe. When you go to the internet, a lot of people have brought different logos, which as a church, we need to let the world know our right logo. So when you go anywhere and you see it, as the secretary to the group, as a clerk of the group, you quickly call the attention of whoever is there and say, this is not our logo. So let me again quickly also go to another Studio B to introduce our original logo to you. So this is our original logo, and that came from, so if you look at this one, I'm sharing this. Yeah. If you look at this one, this is the original logo of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Original logo of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Always the white does not cross the red. And quickly give me about a minute to explain why we got this logo. So first of all, this is the logo as you see, the original one. As you can take a screenshot of it, and then you can see our motto that all may be one. Now, the white, as you are seeing here, was picked from the, what do you call it? The Swiss flag, the Swiss flag. And that is the Switzerland mission. The missionaries that came, those that came from Switzerland, we pick their flag. And so you can Google and check it and see even this one is not the right flag for Switzerland. The Switzerland, where you see the white is in the middle. The white is in the middle. It doesn't cross the red from any direction. It doesn't cross the red from any direction. So this is what we picked from the Swiss. Again, yes, exactly as the Basel mission, as we call it now, the Basel mission. So the Switzerland mission in a contemporary world. Now, again, if you look at this one, you can see the St. Andrew's cross, the St. Andrew's cross, and that is the blue, the cross on the blue background. That is the St. Andrew's cross. And so the last one is the palm tree. That's also showing the contribution of the Africans, the contribution of the Africans. So thank you very much. This is just, by the way, to explain our logo. All right. So let me go back to my main content of presenting the minute writing. Okay. All right. So once again, with the minutes writing, we are, just a moment again. Let me go here. Let me go there. All right. So as you can see, that's a minute writing. Let me make it big.
Well, I still can't see the difference between this one and the one that is beneath it. Are you able to emphasize where the difference is, please?
Okay, just a moment. You see this one? You see this one? The difference is the red and the white. The red and the white. You can see that the white crosses the red. The white should not cross the red. The white should be in the middle of the red. And that is the Swiss, that's the
Okay.
Swiss Basel, as they call it, the Basel mission. That's the Swiss flag.
Okay, for practical purposes, what does the red crossing, not crossing mean? Is it just to be sure that we are picking the right symbol as originally it was?
Yeah, it's example like Daniel, and then I call you Daniel. You say,
Okay.
is that my name? No, that's not my name. Right. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we are copying correctly. That's the switch. So the white on the red background is the switch flag. So we are taking it correctly. Is that right, sir?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. So keep your questions coming as I go around. Okay. So we are moving. Now, what is a minute? What is a minute? A few research has been made, and we just want to get it correctly. So what is a minute? I'm trying to share the Word document so that if there's anything we need to add up, we can quickly add up. Right. So what is a minute? A minute. Wikipedia, as we know, everyone can go there and correct it. Academically, if you cite Wikipedia, they'll say no. But this one is a simple definition from Wikipedia. It's just to say that you are writing something. Wikipedia, a minute is also known as minute of meeting, MOM, a protocol or informally notes that instantly recorded at a meeting. So minute typically describe the event of a meeting. So minute meeting or meeting of a minute are a written record that prevail at a meeting. So whatever happened at the meeting is what we are writing. Is what we are writing. Okay. Now, again, it came from the Latin phrase minuta scriptura, which literally means small writing, and translate as a means of rough notes. Who can write a minute? Who can write a minute? We got several persons that we can contact them to write a minute. A typist. In those days, typists were writing minutes. Court reporters were writing minutes. In our contemporary church, we have secretaries writing minutes, and above all, we have the clerks writing minutes. Transcribers can also be called on to write minutes. And again, anyone appointed, for example, at this meeting, we have appointed noble district clerks to take down minutes for us. So if no specific person is designated for this purpose, the organization may rotate the role of minute takers among them. There are a lot of people, they are very good, but they don't like writing minutes. A lot of people tell, I don't want to be part of this game. I cannot be part of this game. But minute writing is such an exciting moment that if you cultivate the habit of writing, you definitely will be a good writer in no time. Okay. Now, ways minutes can be taken. These are the techniques. Ways minutes can be taken. So initially, minutes may be written using the shorthand notation. And the science students are pretty good in this area. And I know journalists are also very good in writing shorthands. They know what they are doing. And later prepared in an expanded form and circulated to the meeting participants afterwards. So whenever you are writing a minute, you can't write word for word while the meeting is going on. Else you always be asking some people, what did they say? What are they saying? You always be making noise at the meeting. Right. Good. I think Esme also asked a question. Said, can you put the logo side by side? Okay, let me go here. Then let me go to I'll come back to that. Has that question been answered, Esme? Or that's a recent one? Okay, so now we're gonna prepare one that has the fake one and then the original one on the one slide, and you have it. Okay, so let's go. I've seen people that at a 1 hour meeting, they were able to write 20-minute meeting because they were trying to write word for word. And that really wouldn't be what we want. So why do we have to write minutes? Why do we have to write minutes? They serve as official historical record. So when we come to your district and we need some records, we need to know what is going on. The first thing will be bring your minutes book. Bring your minutes book, and we see those days we're writing minutes in books. Now, by the grace of God, we have hard computers, and so we write them and we print them out. We will beg of you to please reserve an email that you always have to send a copy inside. For example, as clerk, I have 2 emails. Any letter, any correspondence I send out, I copy 2.
Yeah.
One which is my reserve one, and one which
we will do that. So we may have to come back and revisit this once we know the amount and then the actual amount and all that stuff.
Kwame, you talk as I don't. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we'll sort that one out. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Okay. So whenever you have your okay. Oh, still reading the messages. Okay, so let's continue. So minutes writing will serve as historical records as well. At my present station, I've just picked the minutes and I was just reading and I started reading from 2014. Just getting to know things that have happened and how they tackle them, and they are very exciting moments. Right. So they also serve as a point of reference, right, for those who attended the meeting, a track record. I remember at one of the researches that I was doing, I went to one congregation, I picked their minute book, and I saw that my daddy was always seconding motion. Say yes, seconded by, then it come Awuku-Gyampoh. So I went to him and said, hey, they say 1974 no transaction no me for some kwa na okoye o hose hwe ye ne mrantie no ene na ye mrantie pa te session so they support in the man, and that was so exciting. So it helps also to check those who have taken actions and all that. So minutes of meeting can also provide a legal protection for an organization. If there is anything there's anything happens, we'll say, bring your minute book. If you have observed, any of us that have gone to open an account, the bank will ask you to bring your minute. Yes, if the bank never asks you, then I don't think the business correspondent that was there really knew the job. But any person that has been trained to be in charge of business would ask you to go and bring your minutes. And usually those ones are an extracted version. You bring the extracted version of what was discussed at the meeting that pertains to the main occasion, and we'll bring the rubrics of it. So the contemporary content of the meeting, you have the title of the meeting. And this one will be good when I give a sample of the minute, So we'll make this document available for you. So usually the language we use the past tense, usually. So if you say that, and then Aaron seconded the motion. When you are right, you say Aaron seconded the motion. If you say maybe Hagar is asking a question, the question is this. So Hagar asked a question. If you want to say maybe Daniel also asked for clarification. Daniel is asking for clarification. In your report, you say that Daniel asked for a clarification, comparison between the fake logo and that's right. So let's see that this is a meeting we have had, a formal meeting we have had. First of all, you try to bring the name of the organization. So maybe Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Mount Zion Congregation. That must come first. Presbyterian Church of Ghana, what do you call it? Maybe Bethel Congregation, Resurrection Congregation. Then that comes. Then now you bring your main subject. Minutes of, and this I said that this is not anything pertaining to any congregation. So minutes of Franciscan School of Nursing board meeting. When was it held? Held on January 9th, 2024. Where was it held? On Zoom. Then you write on Zoom. At what time? So anyone that picks your minute is able to read from the heading to say that this is exactly what happened and this is where it took place. Now, I said earlier on that we need to let us know the members present. So members present, you write those who are present. Who are they? So for example, you have Awuku-Gyampoh is a chairperson. Kofi Boateng, secretary. There's that member. Make sure you write their positions. Please make sure you write their position. Then how many people were absent? Also try to let us know. Members absent. What apology means that they have written to the clerk, they have written to the secretary, they have asked permission. That's why we say members absent with apology. And there are some people, for them, they won't come. For them, they will never even ask any permission. You write it, members absent without apology. You write it, and this is the contemporary style of writing minutes. Okay. So at every meeting, the Constitution states that even the session can invite anyone to come to the meeting. The session can invite any person to be present at the meeting. And so in attendance can be principal, can be group, maybe the singing group, can be anybody, right? Whoever is in attendance. So the first page to be devoted for the heading and then present, with apology, without apology, and attendance. We usually see openings. The first sentence should sum up who did what, at what time and what. So the meeting was opened with a prayer followed by a short exhortation from so and so and by at this time. So your time here would actually indicate the exact time that the meeting really started. Perhaps you can have up there 10 a.m. Maybe the opening was done around 10:17. So will you please put it there 10:17. So you bring a summary of the heart of what was exactly said. Always try to bring a summary of the things that were said. So he encouraged, you can use terms like he encouraged, he exhorted. This one also can be, when you click on, you're able to get a few synonyms. He fortified, he also did what? He stimulated, and many others. Especially, you can say he stimulated, that's fine. He stimulated the board that if, this is just a sample, okay? Always make sure you get it this way. So once the opening is done, you are now going to review and accept the minute of the previous meeting held on. So this also serves as a reminder, the review and acceptance of the minute of the previous meeting. Where was it held? When was it held? So by writing 0.30, you are able to recap and say that, oh, this meeting in January is a continuation of what we had in June. So that in future, when you cannot find the link between one meeting and the other, your 0.30 do sum up to say that, no, we never had any meeting in December because we review that of the minute. It even happened to me when I was writing the minutes for what we did in July. I got a lot of people telling me, no, we did a meeting in August. I said, okay, don't worry. I quickly went to my document and then I checked and I had written review and acceptance of what was done in July. Quickly, I called the chairperson. I said, chairperson, sir, my record shows that the last meeting we had was July. I say, that is why you are the clerk. So even if anybody is wrong, you should tell them what is on record. All right. Okay, so look at this. The board reviewed and accepted the minute of the previous minute held on this one and subject it. So you see that this one, even sometimes your Grammarly or your Word document will tell you, no, change it. You have to come back and listen. He said that held on this one and subjected to persons below. So here, and subjected to. And once it is accepted, is subjected to and subjected to corrections, the corrections below. For example, when you present the minute, you will say that Papa, Chairman, or whoever is seated in the chair, address the person as a chair. Papa or Tiedrum, Mama or Tiedrum. That's how we do it. A Pachoma can we? Or no Bama or Quine say, what can we there? And the Katubra say engine tomb. So if you finish, don't move. If you finish reading the report, you say, I've moved the report. I move for you are not the chairperson. You are not the one seated in the chair. So please allow the one in the chair to say, okay, now that you are finished, yes, say, Papa, do I please have your permission to move for acceptance? Say, okay, wait. Now you can move for acceptance. Say, I, so and so, having read the minute, therefore move for acceptance. The chairperson or whoever is in the chair will say, who seconds? Now it has been seconded. Then that is where we'll go to the corrections, if there are any corrections. We don't correct when the person is reading. There are some people, when you are reading the minute, they'll say, wait, there's a mistake in a no. The thing must be accepted as a document, which has reflected what was presented the previous meeting. Now that we have opened it, it has not become a legal document, and so we are able to correct something. And when we finish, we send the corrected version to people. Usually you have challenges like names. Usually the computer can suggest different names for you and all that. For example, look at this. Item 3 should be corrected from Mr. Usai Srafo to Osai Safo. You just see it. You just look at what has been highlighted. These are some major things that the Microsoft can give you. It doesn't mean that you are not good. It doesn't mean that you have not done a good job. There's some people, when you correct them, say, correction. Yes, I said a mistake. Wow. And gladly accept it, and that will build you into becoming some great person. Now, you see matters arising. This is a way that, yes, the standard way most people write, that you go matters arising 1. 2, 3, 4. That is from the previous minute. Again, I also have this one that has to do the tabular form. And I believe that when it is tabulated, it also becomes very simple. So let's see if we can also give you the tabular form of our meeting. Okay, so just a moment to bring you the tabular form. Yeah, so let's see the tabular, the Microsoft. Let me see. I did it here. Okay, I did it here. So let me go here, share the screen here. All right, so I'm going to share the screen. Okay, just a moment, please. So how did the different meeting the bridge came about? Okay, for the logo, it's just the matter those of us on the internet. Yeah, my internet now the assistant, you know, internet for an assistant, you know. So the logo, the right one is there, but people decide to go and prepare one on their own, and then they come out with the fake ones. That's why we must always remind ourselves of our heritage, what belongs to us. Okay. All right. So this is the new way I love to do it. I would love to go looking at the matters arising. I love to make it more simple because if, for example, you have the items, maybe we have met today, and then the next time we're meeting again, we want to look at the matters arising. The item 1 will be, maybe we looked at the logo. So the logo, we looked at the 2 types of logos that have come in the system. Action is that we are supposed to use the one that the white does not cross the red. The white cross does not cross the red because it is the Swiss flag, and the Swiss flag hasn't gotten the white crossing the red. Responsibility, all clerks and secretaries are to ensure that this. Then we go to remarks. The remarks will be, what remarks do we have? Members are okay. Members are okay by the members. Is somebody asking a question? I see a microphone consistently coming up. Is somebody asking a question, please? If you're asking a question, you can unmute yourself because I saw it. I have to mute it. Mama Higa, do you want to ask a question? Your microphone keeps coming up. Okay. All right. So, any question about this matters arising style? This is what I prefer using because it gives you an easy way of knowing what action has been taken and whose responsibility it is or it was, and then the remarks of that column. So sometimes you can delegate maybe designate a particular page or leave a particular half page for this and get the table formatted nicely, and you attach to your minutes, and that would be great. All right, I see Brother George. Brother George?
Thank you. I have a question on the minute acceptance. If you can go back to the sample you have, because there is acceptance and there is adoption. So I was wanted to clarify. So who moves for the minute to be accepted? Does that need to be seconded?
Yes.
So if you could clarify that as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I've seen where you are coming from. Yes. What we do is that at any meeting, right? Once a report is given, until that report is moved for acceptance, it cannot be opened. It cannot be opened. So whenever a report is read, whether it's a minute or a report from any committee or any group, we say, now who moves it? The members, those who are qualified to be members, are only mandated to move and accept, right? So if you, the clerk, you read the minute, You are a member of the group or the session, so you have to move, but you have to take permission from your leader to move. Once it's moved, it must be seconded. That it has been moved and seconded. One thing we say, yeah, but the adoption, once the thing has been moved and corrections have been made, unless the corrections that were made are more than 50%, then we say it has been rejected. Else, it is considered adopted, because the words or the wording will say that I move that this meeting be accepted for discussion and adoption to be used as a document of this assembly or this group. Does that go well with you, bro?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. I see Rashid.
Yes, Papa. As we drink on.
Yes, sir.
Right. But your question, Busan, is that this format of the matters arising, I think is very nice. I really love it. But the way it is formatted, can it be formatted vertically instead of horizontally, where you have the action items like item, action, responsibility, and remark? And then this can be used, adapted for all of us to make it easier to write our matters arising
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. Thank you, bro. In fact,
Yes, sir.
thank you for all those wonderful questions. I understand you correctly, but like I said, these are the ones we have used, tried, tested, and we've seen that they work well. I have this one is in the headings are in the horizontal way. Are you talking about making the headings vertical?
Yes, please.
I haven't
Yes,
tried that.
please.
I haven't tried that. So you can experiment that, and then one day you tell me, Papa, I use the vertical and it works perfectly. I use the vertical and it works perfectly, and we are able to. We are still learning, so we want to explore new methods of making our minute presentation very accepted. So you can try the vertical. I'm wondering how the vertical is going to look like, but that would be a
Yeah.
very nice experience too. Right?
Yes, sir. Because I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking that the way it is, unless I'm looking at it in the wrong way.
This
You
one
have an
has been
item.
designed. This has been designed. This because I
Okay.
mean that's why I wanted to go to the original paper. I wanted to go because this has been designed, so you don't really appreciate it. If you look at me, I was just trying to use the Word document. Though I'm feeling very uncomfortable using that, but Charlie, I have to do it so that you understand it perfectly. This has been, but if it's like the Word document, so maybe okay, let me say. For example, if it's like this, let me go to this one, and then we'll all do something quickly. Also easy to use. Okay, I've seen someone saying that that is also easy to use. So let me see this one. Okay, the word. I'm going to share another one. So I've shared this one. So for example, matters arising per what Rashid said. Okay, so I'm going here, and then I just want to get a table here. So I go to insert. So once I go to insert, headings, your study. Yeah, so I go here. Then I want to get a table. So I'm going to get like one that's item, action, this, that. Okay, so that's 4, right? Then maybe I come here and I get a table there like that. But do you get it? So I go
Yes, sir.
here, like I have my item here, right? Then I'll ask what kind of action did we take? So
Yes, sir.
I have my action here, then maybe responsibility. Whose responsibility? Maybe is that of the clerk or maybe the administrator? Is there any remarks? Responsibility, right? Yeah, responsibility. Then, okay, we go to remarks. Remarks is when there is something to write. The lawyers will say when you have nothing to write, don't say anything. So we have this one here.
Yes, please.
And your question has helped us to quickly look at something. So item 1. Oh no, I need to draw another one. So, okay, let me make another. I want to make another. This one. Yes, I'm making another column quickly. So you go there, insert a column. Yeah. So you see, so that's going to be like, so usually, you have to write a number. So you have to create a column for that.
Yes.
This is so item. So let's do something. Maybe an item. What kind of item do we want to write? Maybe an item. What kind of item do you want to write? Yes. Any example? Item want to write? So maybe seminar, right? Maybe seminar. So we get our seminar. The action, all clerks. All clerks. All clerks attended. All clerks attended. Right. Responsibility. This one, the clerk of presbytery. Then remarks. Group leaders came in their numbers. Do you get it? So yeah, this is just a sample of what we intend doing. And then it has happened the way it is. So you go to number 2. If there's anything again that came, you report accordingly. Right. Any question on the matters arising?
But I have a question, please.
Your name, sir?
My name is Daniel.
Danny, okay, my brother. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
Did I hear you say the matters arising were action items that is it action items to be taken in the future that has already been taken? Like, how is what is the exact nature of it?
Okay.
Just looking at this example.
Yes. Yes. So this one, that's why I said that this is an example. Okay. So assuming we are reading this report, we're reading this minute at our next meeting, then we're going to say that, okay, we got a seminar, and then I'm presenting this. Maybe I'm presenting this at any gathering. So yes, seminar, action, the action all clerks attended. Then responsibility, whose responsibility was that? Maybe the clerk was that. But let me give you another example. Maybe you understand that one. For example, percentage payment. Maybe let me go to percentage payment. Right? So with the percentage payment, action, the action. So chairperson, so the chairperson taxed all DMs. DMs means district ministers. All DMs to ensure constant payment. So to ensure constant payment. So just for sake of time, constant payment. Whose responsibility is that? Now he's taxed all to ensure. The chairperson, according to Constitution, it is a clerk of presbytery's duty to also remind the CAB, which is the accounts and budgets, to always ensure that people pay their percent. So the responsibility of the clerk. The remarks is that he will have to remind. So the responsibility, what must he do? It regards that he must clerk to remind. So clerk to remind DMs. Do you get it?
Yes,
You
please.
can give us another example again, and we can do that also for you. We're just trying to make sure we get it. So I think it's also important to include a status column to indicate the action is still, yes. I think the remarks will do. The remarks also work things out. For example, let me take another one. For example, let me take another one. 10th anniversary. So maybe we spoke about 10th anniversary cloth. Right, 10th anniversary cloth, right? So we got tense and vertical clause. Action. Again, the clerk and the finance, or maybe the finance director. So maybe the director of finance is to place order for additional production. So clerk, director of finance to place order. That's the action. So the action should always be towards something. To place order, to place new orders, to place new orders. Right. The responsibility. This one is the responsibility of the director of finance. And so if at the meeting it has been done, then the director of finance would say that new orders received. New orders received. Personally, you can say maybe 100 new orders or 200 new orders received. So just sum up. So 10th anniversary clause, what is the status of whose action is that? Director of finance to place new orders. Whose responsibility? Director of finance. Remarks. So that should be remarks. Director of finance, new orders arrived. Then maybe it arrived on January 17th. January 17th, 2024. Good. Any other question on matter? I can see Brother Simon.
Hello, Papa.
Yes, sir.
Please, can the item, action, responsibility, and remarks be geared towards like the church so that at least we will know what to do? Let's say the district here. Can the item, action, responsibility, and remarks be towards the year or the church?
Okay, give us one. In fact, this one is the church, but because I'm picking from the highest level, you seem not to understand. But these are perfect example. So let me pick, maybe give me an example. What example do you want me to do?
The example is like the YAF activating the inactive locals.
Okay, so item inactive members. All right.
Yes, Papa.
Inactive members. Okay. All right. So we have inactive members. Now, at the meeting, it came up that all executives are supposed to list the absentees, persons that have, so make a list of absentees. I'm sure that was what you said.
Yes, Papa.
Okay, so make a list of absentees. Right. Now, whose responsibility? All executive. So all executives. So at the meeting, because this matters arising from the previous minute, the remarks will be, oh, will you stop that? I don't know why absentees and you're bringing this. Okay, so remarks will be, yes, that is why we have in-between meetings. When they come to the local session, you have the officers of the session, the minister, the senior presbyter, and the clerk. Again, when you go to the group level, you have the president and the secretary. And once you have a meeting, in between the meeting, you have to make sure that the things we discuss at the meeting, we have acted on them. So we don't come to the meeting and say, active members, what happened? Oh, we forgot that you said, oh, executive, we forgot. No, that cannot be taken. So the remarks will be, we have received, maybe if it's the presbytery level you are talking about, you have received from the local or the district. If it's the district level, so, oh, we have received the absentees and shared amongst the executive to be calling them, Is that right? Does that make your point clear?
Yes, Papa, it made a lot of sense. Thank you.
That's fine. That's fine. You have told me that you did a bit of science. So you want
All right, Papa, I follow up on the question again.
Yes, Brother Neil.
Yeah, Papa. So how is this session, the language in this session, different from if there were any decisions that were taken, and those decisions also require some future action?
Right. The decisions, as we know, are strict, or what do you call it, action-oriented areas. For example, at the end of this meeting, it will be that one, the district clerks are supposed to go repeat this at the local level. That will be our decision. The decision can never be the items there. That is why these are the various things we discussed. Percentage payment, yes, they can also fall on decision. Depends on what we want to classify as a decision at our end. Again, 10th anniversary can also be considered. Inactive members can also be considered. I may say that they are synonymous. It depends on the context to which we want to make them decisions. And decisions are made perfectly at the district session, and again, local session, and again, presbytery sessions. We make those decisions. Those decisions become so a summary of the entire 4 days or 3 days that you are going to spend at the conference. But this one is the detail of everything that happened each of the days that you had a meeting. And so we go into it again to follow it. And again, someone would argue and say that, oh, fine, then that's fine. The decisions are therefore evaluated at the matters arising. Do I make myself clear? The decisions are evaluated at the matters arising session. So if indeed we made a decision that 10% percentage payment of assessment or 1% payment of harvest should come, then we say, okay, what has happened to the 1% we spoke about? We did say that all of us should go and implement. Whose responsibility was that? Yes, the question that will call for remarks is, what has happened? Can we have the clerk or the director of finance update us? Then that will come and say that. For example, Ohio district paid, and Ohio is saying that maybe Chicago local is yet to bring theirs. That will get to the remarks. And the remarks will call for another action to be considered. All right, let's see some messages here. Anyone to handle the messages here? The matters arising is us.
Hello, Papa.
Yes, please.
I raised my hand earlier, but there were follow-up questions, so that's why I kept
You want to talk? Can you please talk?
Yeah. If you look at the headings that you put there, is a reflection of the old way of reporting matters arising. And the item, the action, I stand to be corrected, but the action should be, should not entails who is supposed to take the action. But when you come to the responsibility, then you mention the person who is responsible to carry out that action, and the remarks will then tell us whether the action has been carried out or not.
Okay. So I'm getting you to say that in the action, we should leave whoever is responsible. Is that right?
Yeah.
So that goes with the point 3.
Yes.
Active members.
So you say the clerk was tasked to do this and this and that. That is his responsibility. Then the remarks will be when the actual thing has been done, what action has been taken.
That's right.
Whether it is positive or negative.
That's right. Yes. So, Brother Simon, you are 100% right. I did indicate my disclaimer that the items we were picking were just impulse. We have not planned those items. So we're just picking them. So thanks for the clarification that in picking the items for the action, we should leave who is responsible there. Right. So it means that from what my brother is saying, my good brother is saying, it means that we'll go by the 3. We'll go by the point 3 as
yes.
our dear sister also access that we should give them examples that will speak to their locality. All right, good.
But please, I have my hand up. This is George.
Okay, George.
That's okay. But I think maybe because we're raising this, I think it's a good opportunity to also emphasize that when we make decisions, it has to be clear who is responsible for it.
That's right.
Because if we talk about doing something but we don't assign responsibility for it, then we might end up in a situation where you come back and nothing has been done about it. So I think this format does help identify who is responsible, but generally as clerks, when session is making decisions, it should be clear, okay, we've decided this, who is supposed to take action on it. So I just wanted to add that.
Okay. That's very good. So I like the brainstorming nature of what we're doing. Let me also say that the action will not always be make a list, right? It can also be sometimes the action will bring a name and the one to be responsible will be different. So maybe the action will be all locals are supposed to make a name, make a list of the persons who is responsible to ensure that the locals do what they were asked to do. It is the responsibility of the district clerk or the district president or the district secretary. And that would also be very good. It depends on the situation because this becomes like a verb, the action word, a doing word. So who is doing what? What is being done? You must get your object and your subject. It's also very important here if you want to look at your parts of speech. All right. Thank you. So maybe for the sake of time, I may rush a bit so that the video will be available for us to go into it. Is that okay, please?
Yeah.
Now, having done, I saw someone write something. So Henry says that matters arising is as it was taken by the chair during the meeting. That's also a good point. So matters arising, the chair does that. Again, it is also the duty of the secretary that as you are writing it, you can, if you don't take time, we can write minutes. And when we come for the next meeting, we deviate and go and discuss something else. Until the two will be meeting, someone find it is because we have not assigned people. It is because we don't get the action and we don't get those responsible. And yes, sometimes the secretary, that's what every secretary must be very critical about issues and always follow whatever we write. So when you come for the meeting, before the meeting, you discuss that with the chair. Chair, last year or last month at our meeting, we discussed this, and that. These were the issues. You compare with what the chairperson has or what the president has. And that there will be times you go and the president doesn't even have anything. So it's your duty to always prompt them and say, these are the things. So before you go for the meeting, you should make sure that you have this handy. You have your matters arising handy in a table form. You have it handy. We did say this person, that person, that person. I called the person before the meeting and they've not done it. And usually they will do that. And usually if you have this one, it saves time. Else you can spend 3 hours on matters arising alone. It's because you have not done your assignment well. So 3 hours, and before you get to the agenda for the day or the main business for the day, you're exhausted. So you do that quickly. You can do that within 15 to 20 minutes to know who is responsible. And if it's supposed to be reassigned again, you go. So this is a new business. So for example, when you came, I did tell you that today our new business will be to look at report writing, to look at minute writing, look at assignment, announcement, and then again, look at how we're able to chronicle issues. Right. So please, can questions be reversed after the presentation? That's fine. If you have questions, you may also, okay. I think someone is asking that. We reserve the questions after the presentation. Okay, that's fine. All right, so we go by that. So you must have your business for the day. The business for the day, at every meeting, you must ensure that you have business for the day. I will show you a sample of the program outline. Then, after the business for the day, you have correspondence. Correspondence will be letters received, right? That require attention and action. Then again, we go to AOB. We usually put AOB there so that when people have other matters to talk about, they can be given the chance to talk about that. Then we go to adjournment. We need to adjourn the meeting because we'll never finish any meeting. So the chairman or the president will call for adjournment and said, the secretary, so and so, Ms. Ades, move for the adjournment of the meeting. That without any further deliberations, it should be done. It was seconded by this, right? Then you go to who said the opening prayer. Usually, it's also good to say that the point that it was adjourned, the time was this. Then who said the closing prayer? The closing prayer was said by this. At what time? And the time should also be there. So this is a sample agenda. I present to you a sample agenda. So if you're going for a meeting, you must make sure that you have this before the start of the meeting. So agenda for the meeting. You must always make sure you have the heading, and then nicely you bring the logo the approved logo, not the fake one. The approved logo, you have it. So you have the agenda for the meeting. So agenda for the board meeting on at this time. Opening and exhortation. Constitution, you must always constitute. Someone should constitute, usually the president or the one in the chair. Then you have the roll call, the apologies. Then you have the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Then you have matters arising. Then the main business, that's the new business. The new business, you must always list what you are going there. You can't have a meeting without an agenda. What are we going to talk about here, this meeting? What are we going to talk about here? That will become your main new business. Some people call it main business, and others will also call it new business. Okay. Then you have the corresponding asset, and you have the closing as well. All right. So we are done with minutes. We are done with minutes here. And yes, sir.
I just want to say, can you add financial statement, financial updates to the order with which you have listed it? Because it's one topical thing that comes under business or before business, depending on the previous minute that you have. If, let's say, you happen to have a meeting and you were not able to read the financial statement for that meeting, you could discuss it before the main business, which will not be part of the items of agenda.
Yes. You know that this is a sample, okay? The sample here means that whatever you deem fit to be your main business, you may add that to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you may add. It's not a standardized kind of a thing that is fixed that when you are going for it, you should go by. The new business change every time.
Okay.
The new business change anytime, and you must always do it with your president or your chairperson before the meeting, please.
Okay.
All right, sir. Okay. Is there any other question? Else, I may go to report writing.
Is the new business more or less like the agenda for the meeting?
You know, one day someone asked me this question: why do we have to write things that we write? And so what do we understand by agenda in the first place? Agenda is a list of items to be discussed at a formal meeting. So the new business, as you're talking about, form part of the agenda, right? Because if we say that we have the meeting, one, opening, constitution, they all form part of the meeting. They all form part of the meeting. So there's a list of things that you want to discuss. But some will also disassociate themselves. Okay, they are the new business. But I wouldn't really accept it because every item listed are things that we are supposed to talk about. So I would say that it's a list of items to be discussed at the meeting. So the entire program for the meeting is what I call agenda for the meeting. But you class the main part as main business or new business. Is that okay?
Yes, please, Papa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so let me go to the minute, right? Is that okay? Am I permitted to go there to the other one, the other program that we have?
I have one question, Papa. Is it a responsibility of the clerk to write the agenda, or is that the responsibility of the chair or whoever is running the meeting?
Now, according to the constitution of the church, the agenda is written by the secretary and the president, right?
Okay.
So before you go for them, because the chair is the one going to sit in the meeting.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the one to sit in the meeting must be part of the preparation of the meeting. For example, as clerk of presbytery, I make sure that before the meeting, I send that, because we have been talking, we've been discussing, so I send the things that we have discussed that they're supposed to be the agenda, the prelims, we have the prelims of the agenda, we have them, then the main business, I take it to my chairperson and say, okay, carry on. Oh no, add this one to it. And that is so you prepare it together with who is going to be in the chair. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Papa, I have a follow-up question on that. So is the president most likely the chair of the meeting?
Per our constitution, the president, the minister, for example, let me take the session. At the session, the minister is the chairperson of the session. And so does it go down to the group level. The president of the group, YPG, during meeting should chair the meeting. Unless otherwise, the chairman would want to relinquish that responsibility to the vice president. That's why we have president, we have vice president. Some of the groups also have their constitution, but I beg to differ. I've never seen anywhere that the president isn't the chairman. Unless you have read somewhere, then you may educate us.
Very well noted. I just wanted to be sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Muni Madio, Papa.
So, if I may ask a quick question, please.
Hey, George, I'll take last one so that I'll be able to go to the report, sir.
Okay, may I please?
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you, Papa. So on the local level, the president or the minister in charge, if I understood everything that we talked about the agenda, he prepares the agenda and passes it on.
The Constitution says that the minister and the clerk.
Okay.
The minister and the clerk prepares the agenda.
Okay.
So, Papa, in the groups, it will be the president and the secretary, right?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Bless you. Right. More being questions are moving say, more being Papa. Yo.
We have
Papa, can I ask my question now? Then
your name, please.
Papa, this is George.
George again.
Yes, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Papa, please. So then, by the way, the president or the minister and the clerk prepare the agenda, but it is the responsibility of the clerk to circulate the agenda, right? And
the Constitution spells it out clearly that
yes,
to make sure
But Papa, my actual question is, when let's say the chairperson visits the congregation or the district minister visits the congregation and then there's a meeting with the session, at that point, who is the chair of the meeting?
No. When the chairperson visits, it depends on the context of the meeting. What is a meeting? If the meeting is the chairperson meeting the district, then the chairperson of presbytery is the chairman.
Okay.
So usually at every forum, the head is the chairman. For example, district minister comes to local session. He's not coming there unless he's coming to visit you. That's fine. He's just coming to greet you. But if he's coming to meet you, the district minister is the chairperson of the meeting. And so that's it go. Right. If your minister comes to the group, maybe your minister in charge or your catechist in charge comes to the group level to visit you, he's coming there to have a meeting with you. He's a chairman. The president will sit by him, but he is the chairman of the meeting. He coordinates the meeting.
Yeah, Papa, thank you. I just wanted that clarification.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we may, Mami has raised her hand again. I'll take that last one, and then we move to the report writing, very essential area, please.
Yeah, Papa, you were saying that the agenda is drafted by the president and then the secretary. But in most cases, we need the input of the whole executive. So could it be possible that the upcoming agenda, it's brought about during the meeting preceding the other meeting? I don't know whether I'm making sense. What we used to do is when we meet this week, then we'll all discuss the next week's agenda. And as you said, it's supposed to be drafted by the secretary and the president. So if these two people go ahead and do the agenda, how do we solicit the input of the other executive members?
Papa, can I come in real quick?
Is it an
It's
addition?
in relation to what she just
Okay,
said. What
fine.
about in cases that it's an emergency meeting?
Okay. Can I take an answer from one of you?
Yeah, Baba,
Yes, please.
whether it's emergency or a regular meeting, is the chairperson that calls for emergency meeting. The whole executive do not call for meeting. And before there's a meeting, there is a 4-member committee within the executive that meets to have a discussion about how the meeting is supposed to be carried out. So after that meeting with the chair, the secretary is supposed to list the items on the agenda that needed to be discussed. And then you write it and table it in your minutes. So when you get to the minute, you get to the meeting, you put that forward, and then the chairman will be taking the item one by one. It is always the secretary and the president that always come out with the agenda for the meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm glad that. Yes, please.
But in addition to that, I think
Your name, please.
If you're an executive member and you have an agenda that needs to be discussed, it's a matter of informing either the secretary or the president to include it in their agenda. So it's not necessary discussing it in your preceding meeting before you can bring it as an agenda for the next meeting. So if you have an agenda to be discussed, it's a matter of just discussing it with the president or the secretary so that they will include it in the agenda when they are writing it. Thank you.
About to add one.
Okay, last one. I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, I've had a chairman before who always want us to go to the agenda quickly for the day and then ask the House to accept it. And if there should be any adjustments to be made in the agenda, it is made before the meeting even proceeds. And I think that meeting was working really good for all of us. Thank you.
Yeah, so the last one I've seen, I will please, yes, then in fact that's going to be the last one. Okay, I will please.
Thank you, Papa. I think a practice that also works well in terms of gathering agenda items is to formally call for items for a particular meeting to the group. So say, and you would do that about, in time for the agenda to be prepared. So a formal call for agenda items of the group at some point before preparation of the agenda with the chair or president also helps. If I'm making sense.
Thank you very much. God bless you. You people, you are good, though. You are good. God bless you. Now, we are all taking our role from the Constitution. And in the Constitution, it has stipulated the role of the Secretary, Article 10 of the Constitution. And when you move down to the congregation, the officers of the congregation, you come to the clerk of the session. We have everything there. Announcement. Even the announcement we give at church. The announcement is prepared in consultation with your agent in charge. So if an announcement has not gone through the hand of the agent, we can't make it. So there are some people, when you are standing there to make an announcement, they'll be running to the chancel Add this. No. Announcements are supposed to be signed by the agent in charge before they are made. And this is Article 10, Clause 10, subsection D. In consultation with the agent in charge, prepare announcement for publication and information to the members of the church. We'll come back to that, the ethics of announcement, what announcement should be done. Announcements are not supposed to be ex-tempo. Announcements are not commentary. Announcements are supposed to be read. And we don't add anything to it. Because whatever you publicly say, it must be that which your minister or agent has signed for you to go and say it. In most cases, people go there and they do their own thing. If you take the announcement, we ask them, what made you say this? Papa, I'm sorry. Who gave you this announcement? Papa, I'm sorry. Why did you say this? Papa, I'm sorry. But announcements are supposed to be in consultation. So if someone is bringing the announcement 12 p.m., he said, look, we are finished. And that should be another time. I'll come back to that. That's the most least aspect we can finish within 2 minutes. So let me share the screen with you, and then we go. Okay, so still here again. Report writing. In fact, it's very interesting to see how report writing has become very essential in most organizations, that you need to know what to write and what not to write. Like I said from the beginning, we have had a few persons whose reports have been rejected for not following the format. Every report has a format. Last year, for example, it was tough, but we ensured that every district tried to follow the rubrics, which they did that. And so at our 9th presbytery session, none of the reports were rejected. The only comment that came was that some of the reports were not reviewed. They were not read over. And so we had a lot of typo errors, omissions, and all that. We hope that once you write a report, you make sure your president goes through, or at least you have someone in the executive board who has some knowledge in linguistics. There's a difference between being eloquent and being very good at grammar. And so the fact that the person can speak doesn't mean the person can conjugate grammar or put tenses together. Please let us respect the view of people that also have the knowledge of proofreading our documents for us. So one, if you're writing a report, the name of the organization should be there. Presbyterian Church of Ghana, which district? Maybe New Jersey or New York or Australia. Which congregation? Which group are you reporting on? You try to say, I'm reporting on this. So that should be in the heading. The title of the report should also be made clear. So this may be, the report is maybe 2023 annual report presented to who? Presented to which body? So 2023 annual report presented to North America Australia Presbytery. Or if it is a local, you say presented to the maybe New York district. Or if it is the group, you are saying presented to the session, or maybe Ascension EF presented to District EF. Make sure that is clear from the heading. Every report has the preamble. The preamble is basically either a hymn or it is also a text from scripture. You can write it there. Then you have the introduction. Basically, the introduction will detail what the, it could be a sentence that this report brings the updates from the various departments and statuses for the year under review. And once you do that, then you're now going to the sub-items. Every report must have who are the leadership. And that helps us to trace the leadership in authority at the time. So organizational.
I'm sorry to come in. Please, does the preamble have to do with the theme for the year of the group?
Okay, so you can reserve all your comments. Once I'm done with this slide, then I'll ask before I move to the next one. Will that be okay? Okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. So, for example, introduction, you give, then you go to the organizational structure and staffing. So the organizational structure should tell us, okay, maybe you are presenting on behalf of YPG. You say that the YPG of New York, our total is, our numerical strength is 150. The 150, we have 80 women, 70 men. You are done. That's the summary of it. So anyone that picks it right from looking at the structure should know that, okay, this is the structure of the organization. Then we come to the executive. You list the executive, president, this, secretary, this. You list that, this. So you list the executive, list them there with their positions. List them with their positions. It's for record sake. It's for record sake. So if it's the congregation level, list the session members. List from the minister, come to the senior presbyter, come to the clerk, and then the treasurer, and it follows like that. If he's a member, he's a member. If the person has been co-opted, he's a co-opted member. Okay, you put it there because the constitution mandates us. If it's the district, you are at liberty to list one, the standing committee members. Then you go to the council members, also list them for record's sake, because it's a report. It's an annual report, especially if it's an annual report. If it is quarterly report, don't bother yourself to go through the listing of congregations and all, because at the end of the day, you put all together at the end of the year. Annual report must include all those who are executive members for the year and review. All right, any question here on this slide before I move to the next one, please?
Papa, it comes back to my question, the preamble, does it have to do with the theme for the year of the church or the group?
No. The preamble, basically, we are not restricted. It is a test. You can use a test or you can use a hymn. Maybe the first stanza of a hymn or a phrase of a hymn, right? And can it be, or a child to keep I have, a call to glorify. Or you can say, this is the day the Lord has made, I will rejoice and be glad. Something that you feel it relates to your environment, it relates to your work that you have done, right? Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so can you straight up here? See some questions. Or say, how does a chairman address a situation where a member come to a meeting and therefore take us back to topics discussed? Hey, you see, that's why we have agenda. So if the agenda is there, and then okay, if any member has any issue, that should be OAB, right? Any other business or other matters. But if we are discussing this, for example, how my sister came and I said, oh, sister, you know what? Can I finish? That's it. So the chairman should be able to moderate the meeting. If you don't moderate the meeting, some people will just meet someone and come and hijack the meeting. You have to moderate the meeting and say, oh, can you reserve this for our next period or this or that? So always the chairpersons of the meeting should have that boldness to coordinate the meeting well. It's a listing of executive. What is the rank of the catechist? Yeah, the catechist is a catechist. A catechist is a catechist, right? A catechist, so right, so and so catechist. That's it. But if the catechist is the minister, is the in charge, then you say agent in charge, right? At every congregation, there is only one person in charge. So if it is agent in charge, all the others are associates. They are helping. The one in charge is always one. There's always one in charge. Okay, it makes it hard for the secretary writing the minute. That's why I'm saying that all depends on its leadership. That's why we, the scribes, have met to learn. And so sometimes when you see that they are disturbing the chairman, you just whisper to the chairman's ear, can we postpone this? It's not part of the minute. It's not part of the item. You just whisper. So secretaries always sit closer to the chairman. You always sit closer to the chairman. It's because you'll be doing some kind of consultations and making sure the meeting is directed to that part. All right. Why? Thank you. All right. Okay, so now this area is basically for the clerks. This area is basically for the clerks, but the last line will be for the group leaders. The clerks, I mean session clerks, and then the you've been hearing me say clerks, and I know people have been saying clerk. The clerk is bridges. The bridges will use clerk, but here in America, if you go and say you are clerk, nobody will understand you. The diction here in America is clerk, but the other British will say clerk. Okay, so for the clerks here, the key officers and the staff. So at the local level, you have the officers, the minister, the agent in charge, the senior presbyter, and the clerk. They are the officers. So always you have to bring their names first. They are the officers. Maybe your congregation is a big congregation, and so you have other staffs. You have administrator, you have secretaries, you have that. Please list them after you have listed the officers of the session. List them. They must come. That chance into you. No, Akoka said, na oye juma oho, and a BBC. And you be call report to us, no. This year, as we're reporting, you're not part of us. Obitumi kan wakọ 1972. Yakọ report on their ship. I said this year you are not there. Why? Because your name was not part of the report that we're giving. Even based on this, if you are reporting quarterly, you can be adding them, and they will all be mounting up to historical factors that we can consider for the growth of our church. So locals, write the presbyter's name. Why? Write the presbyter's name. There are some people, they have said they are 4 years. If you ask them, they'll tell you it's not 4 years. But when you go to the report, you see that this year we reported that you were session members. The other year we reported 1, 2, 3, 4. Sasa, what do you? What do you 4 area? Not for France in Umbra. So I said this already. We are the district council members and all that. So the group also, if at the group level you reporting on activities. So let's see what has happened. The question says that, Papa, please, is it possible to send the formats via email to individuals for class reference? Yes, once we finish, I'm sure Secretariat will be able to push them to you. Each year we try to send the format as well, and we'll do our best. Okay, let's see this one. So we're not going to report. We're not going to report. In the report, you must make sure that you report based on activities. Report based on activities or department. If it is the district, if it is the local or the district, report on the departments. Report on the department. If it is the group level, report on your forecast. Report on what you did say from the beginning that you want to do. So you don't report on something that you have not programmed it, you have not projected it, you have not strategized it. Right. So those ones will come under notable events. Yeah, those ones will come under notable events. Notable event. So, for example, mission evangelism. The mission evangelism, for example, in your district, in your local, it is expected that at the end of January, you have to prepare your action plan. So every group, try to prepare your action plan. The action plan will be this year, March, January to March, we want to do this. That is objective. So we are saying that to focus on migration ministry, to plant new preaching points. These are the goals. So when you are reporting, you report in line with the goals that you have set. Report with the goals that you have set. I see a hand, Nana Asabia. Na Asabia.
My question is, the difference between a clerk and the secretary. Could you please explain that to me?
Okay, can you keep that question? That when I finish the report, I handle that.
Okay.
Thank you, dear.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So for example, look at this. So, we are reporting on mission evangelism. So mission evangelism. This was the goal that we set. Now, we are reporting goals executed. So when you go to that, this is, we can call this one results. We can call it results. So these are goals executed. Because our first aim was to, as it were, talk about focusing on migration ministry, we got to report. And we say that a migration committee was set to draft a policy which was accepted for use in November 2023. This is what you call actions executed. So don't go and write. And then we met. And when we met, we sat. And when we sat, we went. And when we went, we disclosed. Be straight to the point. Be straight to the point. A migration committee was set. A drafted policy was presented and it was accepted. Which month was this accepted? And this is an achievable goal. Now, you are going to the next one again. The same point as certain focusing on migration ministry. The same point, you say that implementation has been made and 35 persons have been oriented as new arrivals in the countries, maybe either countries or country. This one is like the voice of a presbytery. So you may see it very big, especially those in New York, New England, Ohio, right? So if it is you that you are saying you are focusing on students who migrate to your locality, you will say, okay, a committee was set to look into that, which they presented the report this date and it has been accepted. Now, as we talk now, 2 members have benefited from this policy that we made through orientation and new convert class or new arrival class that we did. God, that is your results. These are the results that you have really achieved. Then, okay, so so far, I just wanted to pick just one, so we're able to present on. I did also inform you that as clerks and as secretaries, we should also know what is happening in the presbytery. Every report that you present, make sure you add statuses. Every report. Make sure you add statuses. You're adding statuses looking at the previous year. So, for example, this one you see 2021, you see 2022, you see 2023. But in your case, you can just compare the previous year. If you're writing a report on 2023, compare 2022. So how many were you in 2022? And how many were you also in December 31st, 2023? Then you have the variance. The variance is to look at the difference between the previous year and then the year you are considering. And when you are done, you are supposed to go and look for the percentage. And usually you look at the variance over the actual times 100 to be able to get your percentage. All right. So now that we are done with this, any question on the report before I move to, if you want to get an action plan for your district or your local or your group, how you should just write it so simple that you can know. Let's go. Any question here?
Yes, please, Papa.
Yes, please.
With at the district level reports,
yes, please.
The officers would only include the district officers and the district level chairpersons and so on. And then at the local, it's a session, the composition of the session. Is that right?
Okay.
So
okay,
the district report should not include session members from locals.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
The local session will be kept at a district level for reference. So the district level will keep the presbyters, what they have submitted there. So when you have your district session, their names are going to appear in the district session document or handout. But when you are bringing it to the presbytery level, you don't write their names there. You only have to focus on the district officers, and the officers of the district. You have the district minister and the clerk. They are the officers of the district. Then you write the standing committee. The standing committee. You have the representative from presbyters, and then you have one minister representative, and then you have the clerk, you have the lay rep, and then you have the district minister, then you have youth representation there, and then you have the coordinators to the various departments will be in attendance. They will be in attendance, but the main members are those that I've mentioned, and the treasurer is also part of it. Right. These are the standing committee. But the district session goes beyond, where you have group reps also coming in to form the district. And then the rep from the presbyter's rep serves for 1 year, and then the minister's rep also serves for 1 year on the standing committee in that order. But the district council will include all agents. All agents. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Any other question on this, please? The report format. We are expecting the report, but the report was supposed to come on the 15th. But because of this, we are giving you additional 3 days to present your report. 3 days. Because I need to sit on and make sure I also use 24 hours to present it to the General Assembly. So please try as much as possible to present your comprehensive report. So if you have any question, ask us. That will all help you to solve it. Okay. Okay. So let me go to announcement. Announcement. Anytime you are giving announcement, you are giving the announcement on behalf of the congregation. On behalf of the congregation. So we said, can we have ample notice on the report is due? No. Please. The report, you all know, the report is supposed to be ready 31st December. And by the grace of God, we gave you up to 15th January. I've not slept the whole night. And the coordinators or the directors know we have to prepare something to the General Assembly. For the past 3 days, I've not been able to sleep because I'm working every night. So this one, I'm supposed to take it to the head office latest by 24th. Latest by 24th. And so I've given you 3 days to do justice to it. And by the grace of God, God will give me strength to use at least 10 hours to put everything together and present on behalf of the presbytery. So 3 days there, also Papa. Yeah. And also,
But by the 3 days, you are referring to the district reports, right?
Exactly. So the district report, if you don't have the local, you can't do it. So you have to collect the locals and ensure that you feed us with. Do you get it? Because the locals report must also reflect, for example, let's see something. I want to show you something. For example, so thank you. So once you present a report, you must say humbly submitted by the clerk, Miss Adesu, endorsed by the DM. Always your report must have an endorsement. Always your report must have an endorsement. On the screen, you can see that's our chairperson there. Right, we greet him. God is a good man. All right. So, for example, look at this. Just look at that. I want to let you see. Okay, for example, look at this from education department. The education department of the presbytery says that they will organize a symposium on educational financing in the US, Canada, and Australia. That is the first objective. Number 2 is to train districts to have symposia tolerating or maybe labeling it or lowering it. Also, we tailor this in the specific needs of their district. So whatever they tell you, you tailor that to the locals. now, again, to establish a Presbyterian school in NAEP. If you look at this, at the presbytery level, the presbytery says that we will be able to establish at least one Presbyterian school. But in making this presentation, the director of the presbytery must go through the vision of the various districts to see which one aligns with this vision and say that, yes, we'll establish a Presbyterian school in NAP. New Jersey district will start the registration process for the establishment of a Presbyterian school. So that is why when you're given a report and say that at the district level, maybe DSS, we didn't do anything, maybe a local in your district has done something good. You write it and say, we did this through Trinity congregation. We did that. You always have to acknowledge those who did it. And that makes your report very rich. So anytime you are bringing a district report, make sure you fuse the locals, the things they have done that is worthy of knowing. You push them to the district level. And then we also pick it. We're also going to pick what you send us to also send it and say that the presbytery did this through Australia district. The presbytery did that through Ohio, Illinois district. And that is why it is important to always have the locals bring theirs. Then it's just like an academic work. In every academic work, you don't plagiarize, but you try to make reference and say, according to this person, I'm an authority in this area. That's this idea congruent to that one. And then you finish, you get your findings. Now when you have a certificate, now call. Okay. So, for example, this is what we presented to the head office this morning. That's to establish a Presbyterian school. So next year, at the end of this year, if you are making the report, we will say that establishing a Presbyterian school, the results will be New Jersey district has been able to establish a Presbyterian school. At the moment, they have 3 classrooms. The enrollment now is maybe 64. And that is the results we want to see at the end of our progress. So every one of us, every group, every local must make sure you get a straightforward objective. Example, let's go to mission evangelism. To plant at least 1 preaching point in each district. So at the end of the year, if New England district has planted 1, California planted 1, maybe Canada sub-district planted 1, we'll come and say, to plant at least 1 preaching point in each district, we have been able to plant 10 preaching points coming from the 10 districts. This is a clear one saying that, yes, the president has achieved it, but we were able to achieve it by the help of our locals. Maybe there's a group which is also doing very well. For example, being able to promote music evangelism. Then we can say 2023, we were able to achieve this through a youth vibrant gospel chala organized by the youth of New Jersey district. And this will move straight away to the head office that the youth of the North America Australia Presbytery are doing fantabulous. As we make na local ketewa bi na ye you. Na so ne de no nyam ni nyina fra besia de akodu head office. That is why every group is important. Every group is important. So quickly to answer the question of my sister, is a matter of terms. It's a term. It's a terminology. A secretary takes down minutes, right? And then the clerk is a custodian of the whole session and the congregation. So it's a matter of terminology. We a clerk, we a secretary, we are on a role, I will play. But Presbyterian said, yen this session. At every session at our you see in court on the no better to be a friend of clerk. Now you see in group level, no better to be a man or a secretary. And then one, right? Go. Again, the objective of the presbytery is to say that districts will develop flyers with church information and display them at their respective African supermarkets. And this one also goes to all of us as clerks and as secretaries. Say, Obia or congregation, when you flyer, oh, we invite you to visit us. Then you write the address of your congregation and then the telephone number, contact the catechist or contact the presbyter or contact the clerk. Eye den abosom ne beso no na onipa baako aye den na contact. It's very important. For example, at my school, the principal said, "Oh, let's close admission." I said, "No, results have been released. So let's make some flyers and take them to some." And within some few minutes, we got almost like 120 students applying again. So that also tells us that if we fail to advertise our church, we fail to get members of our church. So let's do this to also help the mission department of the church. Example, to elevate 2 sub-districts into districts, Canada and then Chicago. This is at the level. It's our prayer that at the end of the year, we'll have Canada move into a district as far as Chicago also move into a district. Look at another vision, prayer conventions. To promote districts, prayer conventions and retreats in 2024. So this will also help you that when you are also preparing, when you cool chopper, say we also have prayer convention. So when you report and it comes, then we say Australia district have a prayer convention because this is the vision of the presbytery. So you have to pick it. You are just kind of alcohol, no, and you report to an answer. You are trained through report to. Another one, DSS, Symposium on Ghana, USA, Ghana, Canada, Ghana, Australia. And so we want to have some kind of contact with our various high commissioners that will have a forum where we invite the high commissioner to tell us, update us, Ghana at 2024, the election, what do they expect from us? Those of us here, what do we do? And what are some of the things we should also not do? It's going to be an interaction. You ask questions about visa acquisitions and those who want to have this passport and all that. Have some time. So you also write, if you also know of any embassy closer to you, you also say that maybe Canada district, we also have this program with our, whether it is the consulate general or it is the high commissioner, you have it there and it reflects through us. Again, want to say that to have this kind of a plan to float drive, the float drive is kind of, we will be scouting, we'll be moving to, by the grace of God, we have this triangular partnership where Western and Volta have come to join us. And so we will scout through Volta Presbytery, scout through Western Presbytery to see those who are in need. We gather clothing and other things, and then we move there. And this can single-handedly be done by a district. A district can say, okay, we are putting this basket here, we're putting this stand here, whatever dress you have, you think you want to give it out, put it inside. At the end of the day, we bill it, we send it to Ghana, and we do that. You write in your report, DSS, that we're able to do the float drive, and that is great. Recently, New Jersey district went all the way to Mepe and did the donation. When it came, they had written, North America Australian Presbytery donates to Mepe. It is the presbytery. It is all of us, and we do it to the glory of God. Again, the DSS department says I want to engage in agriculture with the triangular partners. What we want to do is I want to look at crop and animal husbandry. Fine. Australia district can say, okay, we want to engage in poultry. And so Volta Presbytery, do you have some land? It's okay. We got about 2 acres. It's okay. We want to get into, the cow business. I thought in 4. I don't want to go up. Which is okay. 1,000. We want to do egg production. So we want to make sure that the Christ ministry becomes very practical, biblical, that we're also aware of our environment and we love our environment. These are powerful businesses that we can do to help our people. And I'm sure it's a good vision. So you can also write it there that you also want to engage in agriculture, and that is either crop or animal husbandry. Husbandry is simply farming, right? Okay. You want to do donations. You want to have some donations. So to donate to sister presbyteries. And that has also been well. So at least 2 donations. So the 2 donations, Canada, that's one. And then maybe we have that of Ohio also doing 1. Donations in Ayawi. Again, administration and human resource. We want to develop compensation policy. So the local councils, okay, we also have this. We want to make sure that we check our welfare scheme and make sure that the local has a good welfare package. That will also help. Also, the HR says that we want to develop human resource needs assessment. This is to say that we want to project into the future, the next 4 years, the next 5 years. How many catechists are we supposed to get? How many catechists are due retirement in the next 5 years? How many ministers are due retirement in the next 6 years? We need to have that sustainable development plan where we would have people to come and take over. So we look at that, and I'm sure that would help. This must be done through the districts. A district must also have this done very well for a great sustainable development. Again, HR2, we have inventory of properties. We must ensure that at the locals, we just need to grab this. And so we also have inventory of our properties, and we can report at the end of the year that almost all the districts, or I don't like the word almost, 10 or 7 districts have had proper inventory of their properties. And that can only come when you report to us. Then a tool to develop to help streamline the process of taking inventory of church properties. I'm sure that will be helpful to also get that. And an establishment of HRM in the various districts. We also want to ensure that every district will get the Department of Administration and Human Resource Management. So as a clerk, as a secretary, you also do that. If you're a group leader, you also, okay, we also want to make sure that we keep track of our items. As the group, what property do you have? Do you have any fixed assets? And you look at the liquid part too, and put all together and also report to us. So we have clan. Clan means church life and nurture. Church life and nurture is basically for training. At the presbytery level, we are saying that, look, we want to develop people. We want to train. We want to have this kind of a capacity building. So we want to train GY and children's service teachers. Now, we are saying this at the presbytery level, but at the district level, you can also pick this. And so we also want to train more. How many GY teachers do you have? How many children's service teachers do you have? So you can also pick this. So when you report there, it flows through the process, that training, we have done this, and this must be purposefully done. Get to the school, teach them, let them know, evaluate them, and I'm sure the church will have a one-touch movement. Now, the presbytery is saying that I want to train counselors. These are consolidated objectives, so nobody should come and beat me. Consolidated objectives, right? So the presbytery is saying that we want to train counselors. So we want to identify persons that would want to be counselors for our youth, our young ones who want to marry, premarital counseling, want to get a team for that, postmarital counseling, want to get a team for us. And by the grace of God, we have had the University of Ghana Psychology Department to take us through this. So when it's time for us to say, bring your candidates, and group level, you don't bring anyone. District level, you don't bring anyone. That means you are going to lack in your district. Your district will not have qualified counselors, because counseling is different from maturity. Counseling is different from maturity. It has a skill, and those skills must be learned. And I'm sure that once we do this, we'll go along with helping to develop our noble districts and our noble congregation, because every congregation, whether preaching point or not, people marry. And what kind of training do they have before their marriage? Okay. We're going. Then we have the presbytery. I also want to bring a disclaimer here that these are consolidated vision. Consolidated means that coming from all quarters. And so we want to have intellectual property as well. So the presbytery is saying that we want to form an intellectual team and to using one district. So this one, they're going to use one district. The presbytery is going to use one district as a case study to write a book on tithing. So at the end of, we are saying that at the end of the year, there should be a book in the system that is saying that when we want to look at tithing, what is tithing? That one district that the presbytery has said, what have they done? So that one district will bring that and say, yes, presbytery, thank you for giving us the go ahead. We have produced a book. And then Ohio will say, okay, bring us 10 copies. New Jersey will say, okay, bring us 100 copies and all that. Then the group level too, you do it. And once you read and you teach people, the church will begin to understand tithing. Not just tithing in Malachi 3:10. Others have written extensively. You can get over 200 books on tithing. What we are trying to do is that we want to bring the scholar's mind together. What has this person said? What has Awuku-Gyampoh said? What has Sopho A said? What has Sopho B said? And what do we also say? Let's go to the field. Let's conduct the survey. What do we have practical persons that have paid tithe and they want to share some testimony? And we will bring all those things to consolidate the literature review together with the field work. And that's going to be a very interesting material. The ESR will also say to enhance a healthy relationship with immediate communities through activities like picnics, games, health screening, etc., etc. Youth rally through campaign, and they want to engage the youth in the community through fun games, etc., etc. This is just by a few of them. And the finance, we want to say, want to widen the presbytery's revenue stream to ensure that percentage contribution is enforced, and then to be done through a regular training and workshop of all treasurers, and to ensure proper auditing of accounts at the district and congregational level. Friends in the Lord, these are the point by point vision of the presbytery, and so you are at liberty. You're at liberty to dab it. So if any dabbing, we dab it at your local level. And I believe, and the presbytery believes, that if you have not given the people what we want to achieve, don't expect results from them. So if you have these things at the fingertips as a clerk, and we are talking, if you have this as a secretary and we are talking, you talk with so much confidence. He said, this is what we are doing. When we say we are part. If it is the presbytery, it is we. We are doing this. We are doing that. And so we also want to do this here and do this, that. And that makes you, but bisa, na presbytery, saying, yenim, okay, penanim say, no position is not the move, because you couldn't really defend your own church that you are defending. Love says, trust this PowerPoint will be circulated to use after the meeting. Madaruma, munti ni oho, more munti anyway. And the ADB here says the mom. That's why you are the clerks, you are the secretaries. Let me say this, that unfortunately, most of the secretaries don't get the circulation. They don't get the circulation. So I want to plead with you. Once you get it, pass it on. Pass it on. If you get it in your email, it's not your bona fide property. You got it because you have others under you. Just send it to them. Forward it to them. Circulation. Forward it to them. And I'm sure it's going to help. If we think that is a problem, district ministers, please, district clerks, compile all the names of the secretaries in an email. So once you get it from the clerk office, you also forward it through the email to them before you send it to their WhatsApp. Recently, I had a challenge with my WhatsApp and every information is gone. So I was like, if I didn't have email, I would have lost every information. So let us not trust the, what do you call it? Let us not trust the email so much. We should not trust the WhatsApp so much. What's happening? Over to me, dear. Why? What's happening between the issue? The email. Okay. All right. My sister has asked a question. It says a question. This might be presbytery groups, etc. But clan requests annual and quarterly report. The annual report usually deals with what was reflected in the quarterly report. And is there any way to avoid this redundancy? Doctor, but what being? We know why we do that. Your question is nice. I will only take the redundancy from it. Right. We report on quarterly basis so that we are helped. Because if we don't report on quarterly basis and we tell the person to bring the report December, you will not even find where you started. So all those reports come, and then we also pass them on. Every time you send it to the clan, you send it to any department, we also forward it there. What we are saying is that at the annual report, let me stop sharing and pick the General Assembly's report that we got. So, hey, I'm struggling to lift. So look at the General Assembly. Oh, stop that. When you set the background, that's what happens. Oh, look at this. Okay. Look at this. This General Assembly. This is General Assembly report for all the 21 presbyteries. And how many more drew? No. So this one, all those that we've been sending March, June, September, they don't put them together. So it's at the end of the year that we put everything together. And I mean everything together, everything together like this. And the whole presbytery, we have only one. Everything was digital. Everything was digital. So we just have one copy because this time we want to save the environment. So, Mami Charlotte, they have the Jimmy report no quarantine in term. Why? Okay. All right. Any question, please? Any question? Okay.
Quick question, please.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Do you have sample report format to show to us briefly from the local to the district?
Look at.
I mean, not the district is fine, but the local.
Okay.
The local, yeah. Because I know we have the group ones, but the local, if you have a sample quick format to show us, that will help. Thank you.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to. I'll give you one. So whilst we're waiting for a format, Erica says very informative. Thank you. Yeah, so that should be report presented to the district, the 11th district. Report, final report. You see. Okay. So, okay. You can. Okay, so I'm asking permission from one district and be able to show you what happens. So final report from New Jersey district. Final report from New Jersey district. Okay. So let's download it. Final report. Let me see. Final report. New Jersey district. We want to get the local minutes. What is arising? Final district. So let's search. Final 2023 report from Ascension. 2023 report from Ascension. Okay. Any other question whilst I search the system, please? Districts. As a final 2023 district and congregation report. District congregation and group report. Okay, so I've seen that one. Congregations and group report. Okay, so New Jersey is a congregations and group report. All right, so permission to, of course, is going to come out. It's surely going to come out during the previous session. So I'm asking permission from the New Jersey district to please share their documents on the screen, please. Okay, so on the screen, you are able to see. So this is something that we are expecting from the district clerks. So you can see this hasn't been presented to the presbytery level yet, and this is what was presented to their session. So just going by it to see. So you see that they'll bring the table of contents. They bring a table. This is usually what is presented to this session. So we're going to pick page 3, and that is the mother congregation ascension. This report was uploaded at the district session by the committee that worked on it. So look at it. They started with preamble. This has been consolidated by the district clerk. So you can see they don't have the percentage of Ghana. The district clerk brought everything together and gave a heading. So you're able to see preamble. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. That's Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. Then you go to introduction. So with this introduction, so this annual report covers January to November 2023. It will cover departments updates, some recommendations from the session, and the happenings of current programs of the various groups. Are we safe here? Do we understand what's going on here?
Yes, we do.
Okay, that's fine. So still going on. Yeah, so moving on. Now the department. So right from there, you bring the department. But if you look at what we discussed today, it means you must immediately bring the statistics that at the moment, this congregation I'm presenting, we have this just to be part of the sentence, just to be part of it. So that right from the introduction, you are reporting based on that and that and that. Okay. I see a hand. My mother, Mama Letitia, please, do you want to make a contribution, please? Okay. If you are ready, Mama, please let me know. All right. So you see the department. So department depends on how you want to arrange it. This one, it started with...
Hello, Papa.
Hello, Mommy.
I'm sorry, I was muted. I say I am here enjoying you.
Hey,
And yeah, it seems I don't know whether my clerk is here, so I must be here to help. And I have something to ask. I know that the districts and the locals, we write on the committees instead of the departments.
Exactly.
I don't know whether it's changed, but Presbytery and National, they report on the departments. How far has this been changed or is still going on? Because I'm hearing you that we report on the department, but I know that maybe committee on education, committee on church life and nature, committee on finance, but in the presbytery and national level, department of church life and nature, department of DSS, department. This is what I want to be clear of. This is...
Yes, Mama, please. I will give you a toffee, alewa. I'll give you alewa. Thank you. Yes. So, rightly as Mama has said, the name, the difference is that at the local level is committee. Okay.
Yeah. The district level. Thank you.
And then at the high level, we call it, for example, if you pick the order, manual of order 21, it says that committees and their members and their functions at the national level. That's right. Thank you, Mama. My mind is full of presbytery. Thank you very much. Right. So order 21, page 65 going, you will see committee on, instead of using the word department. Okay, so leave the word department for presbyterial and national. Okay.
Yeah, so that the class will not be confused. That's why I did it.
No, it's a good input. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. All right. Good. So I see a question here. Said, does the district report to presbytery include congregational? That is why, the district report, there can be no district report without congregations. There can be no, I want to repeat again. There is only a district when there are congregations. So the district level, they consolidate the report. So for example, Committee on Administration, Ascension has beautifully done theirs with dates. So week 1 up to March, to restructure our offices to look more modern and royal. Then they go to March and May to put up a facelift of the chapel, to get some experts to monitor the IT system. Then they go to this one again. So you see that when they come to the committee, the first part, they are telling you what they are reporting on, to monitor all activities in the various groups and to promote good security of members. Now they go to the activities and they will come to the results. This one is a congregation giving a detailed report of what has transpired in their congregation. When the district clerk is putting together, he will not go with this one. He is going to say that Committee on Administration and Human Resource. He will come and, in other words, he will not steal because he will acknowledge us. He will come and make reference to one Ascension and say that, ade amaka nyina no, enema mienu be na wo mu a, betumi apeke na ede akọ district, ede akọ presbytery. No about, okay, restructuring or maybe monitor, getting IT experts. And we say that we've been able to get IT experts in congregations like Ascension and that of, what do you call it? Inshira. No, I report to all, not aye. District report, you the traces of congregations, it means you have not acknowledged them. You have not acknowledged them. I say, I mean, do we attach? No, okay. We don't attach them. What the report you bring to this place, we don't attach. Let me be sure. Let me be sure. You let me be sure. You let me be sure. I'll get back to you, the district reps. The district place, I'll get back to you, okay? I'll get back to you on whether you attach them or not. Okay. The one that asked the question on sample, are you getting satisfied here?
Yes. Yeah, because I'm asking it so that our local clerks will be clear on what to submit to the districts.
Exactly. Thank you very much. So, exactly, so we can see the results as they were bringing. You can see the results. Whatever they said there, they have been able to achieve them. Right. So, for example, they said they'll put the face of the chapel, setting up the chapel to be youth-friendly and attractive for solemn worship, and then having a new pulpit, lectern, altar, chairs, cameras, TV screens have been set up, training of IT experts to monitor the event and group action. So whatever they wrote there, they have come back again to tell you they have achieved them. All right. Thank you. Are we free to go now?
Papa, please, I have a question. Oh, this is Erica.
Yes, mommy.
Yeah, so from my understanding, it's up to whoever is writing the minutes to slash out all the irrelevant stuffs and just make it snappy to fit in the report, right?
Yes. So yeah, what we pick the so the question is, I'm using the professor's language. The question is, so whatever you are writing and so what? So whatever you are writing and so what? This one said that, and this one said that, and so what?
Yeah.
You always get to, it was agreed that this person proposed and it was that. And so you see that in the sample. So we don't write so many, unless where it has gotten to, we need opinions of people. For example, we want to take a major decision. Like split the presbytery into two. Then we go Australia district. According to the Australian district minister, ABCD. The New York district minister also counted and said this. However, the Ohio, Illinois district minister agrees with this person. After all these communities, the chairperson asked for motion. The motion was then moved by, and it was seconded by that. So if it gets into where we need opinions of people, we try to give them their voice. We try to make their voice relevant. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. God bless you. Any other, please? Okay. So you can see from here, maybe there's another congregation, and you can see Insha congregation, and they have also gone through the same way. They've gone through the objectives, they've gone through the activity, and they brought the results as well. Statistics, you can see them. So statistics try to bring the children. We have sent you the from C and from D. From C simply means from congregation. From D means from district. From P means from presbytery, right? So the D, the letters that are used to be a coefficient of the form, it depicts where it belongs to. So from C is for congregation, from D is for district, and from P is for presbytery. Okay. Let's get to announcement, and then I'm sure that will be the last one. Okay, I'm sure about that. Okay, so let's share this. Right, so for example, Obama announcement. Is that this one? Okay, yeah. For example, Obama announcement. Session. Any year suffer Mama Letitia, any anemu Emma Obi Biara Akwaba. You must always acknowledge your agent. You must always acknowledge your agent. And when you are giving an announcement, I know there's a place I went at. Announcement to me on my Ukwada Bre Biana or Tim Patemwa or Tukatra or ye to be uncle. It's Ubina Honomono. Announcement the preamble is obeying ye to uncle. And then this one, let me ask you, I've just been determined to make this one a discussion from. That would be what we use to close. For example, those that come to church and for the first time, I've seen that we usually do it right at the beginning of the announcement. Must it be the end of the announcement? Because sometimes, for me, the justification is that it distorts the whole flow. Let's go to stand there. Those who are there now for the first time, can you stand up? And so that distorts the whole thing. Whatever you came to tell us, we have not heard anything. And all we came to do is to introduce new members that have joined us. Can it be that this August Assembly will agree that that will be the last item? That will be the last item. You know, I feel one and then almost sorry, said back sum up. We announcement tonight if sometimes my friend we not time and we have had so many suggestions. Announcement in a chat to you can't be so near befa. Yeah, my announcement, you know. I am very short. The man one research try and say, they are commentary near the count. Announcement to me just in preaching. To me, just in preaching. But that must not be the case. There was also good change and crop one. The announcement, you know, one. Oh, you should PPT, and that's how you should screener. You have to scroll it under it. And every announcement, you know, you can post the announcement on the church platform. So be to say, you be share a brother, a bomb pie, we could say a Bible study. These are things that the people know. And can it be possible, sir, we'll make those ones available on the church's platform, that if it's an announcement, you can post it, and then you can scroll it under it. And every announcement, you know, you can post the announcement on the church platform. So be to say, a Bible study. These are things that the people know. And can it be possible, sir, we'll make those ones available on the church's platform, that if it's an incoming or upcoming program, we just make that. We just like why. So let me make an announcement. Maybe announcement to Moon Chairman. So for Radio Sundri and come on.
Papa,
Mama.
me da se, me pa chow, me de bribi kitwe bi eba, near the kind concerning the reports, no. Me say we have been numbering the reports. Ebia now I must say 1.0 1.01 1.02 mipacha papa utumi ebuayen wo kakra se enunum na amanama no adosu pi ana mo yeye fim
Okay.
ebia mpacha so wa America no
Mommy, it's a announcement. We report writing. Mama, we now we are namakasa.
na efe ni awuka ewo announcement ho no etobre bia na obi abeda asida afori na onipa no request say one kind scripture be to affirm or confirm na sida no obi nso adase no no nso o si wonye sa ni bi ebi wo ho a no obi nso abese nipa be 4 obia ni na sida so scripture. How do we go about that?
Yes.
Ocho.
Yes, Mama Pacho, may I say? So let me first of all share the screen, and then the question you ask is one of we are my second Rebecca was okay to my me share screen to see how that now you share. For example, if you're writing the report, yes, we are supposed to number them. The fact say a number is to make sure that we check cohesions. And he said Obibo 2.1, 2.4, 2.6. It tells us that there is a major point that has been further broken down. It's just like writing a dissertation or thesis. You would always get a topic or maybe the main heading, and then you build on. So maybe chapter 1. Chapter 1 is about literature review. The literature review, which is some people will say 3 or 2.0, you'll be getting it under that 3.1, maybe on youth migration. Then you get one 3.11 on the percentage of migration. Then you come. For example, if you have this one like committees, and you are reporting on the committees, maybe this 16. And so this becomes the major heading. Because you have written the one 2.0, the next one, it comes up. And because this is a major one, you need to make sure, say, sometimes you push it. It's either sometimes pushed or tapped, or depends on how it's. The more you tap, the more it's giving you the point. And that depends on the number of subheadings that you have there. And the say 2.1. The 2.1, never as a watcher, say be a committee, you have M&E. This is M&E because that's committee. So M&E. The M&E becomes that one. And the M&E, can different one be under that M&E. Now I can want some. And say 2.1, which means this is not a new point that you are building, but you are building on this 2.11. And 2 near committee, but 2.1 then M&E, committee on M&E. Then the 2.11 would be maybe the vision of winning more souls. And you are winning souls for Christ. And in winning souls for Christ, that becomes what then under that both Sabasaba 2.12, which means under M&E. To also be M&E, not M&E near 5 or 2.1, 2.1. To be about your report 2.1, which report say M&E. Your report 2.2, we see then that is HR. Your report 2.3, then that is clan. And it is always appropriate for us to do, we're trying to format them, for us to format it very well to look very attractive. Right.
You, Papa, me that say. I also see that it make the whole thing, I don't know, but if they understand it or if they can remember, because if we write committees, then we take M&E, that is 2, 1, M&E. Why shouldn't it flow like that? We know we are in M&E, 1 point, winning so, that is 0.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. Maybe you have these sub sessions under M&E. We repeat M&E all the time. That is 2 is committee. We repeat 2. We repeat committee. M&E, that is 1. So when we come here, we come to committee.
Okay.
M&E winning so.
Mama, I understand your point. I understand.
Yeah. So when you go, please explain these things. You see, and then you come committee M&E.
Okay, Mama, you know,
2.
when you finish yours, I personally do your formatting for you. When you finish with your son,
I can do it, but it looks as if
these are standard way of presenting anything that looks like a thesis, right? Whenever we are taking General Assembly is just going to put them together, and so if we miss the format, it will not fit into the General Assembly category.
They will find it difficult.
They will find it very difficult. That is why I'll bring a sample. I'm supposed to bring a sample tonight for all clerks to forward them to you, so that when you are coming, you know the first one deals with M&E or second one, so that in consolidating they will not struggle. At all. Why?
And no can na report writing no one din na ubehwe no na wo fa enko if say na but me say mo kire wo no mo ti ase a ebeboa na efe nso no there are times obi ye secretary nde wanhwe ya next year no na oni ho na ofoforo na oba be ye secretary enti na bribi asan akoye nwunwan enti
that's it. Thank you very much. Right. Esme.
Papa, can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can.
I
saw your hand. Was it right?
Oh yeah, I was just trying to say the numbering makes it easy to differentiate between the different points. So
okay.
Yeah. Mama Tiasi. That's it. Okay, thank you. And so far, no. Mami announcement. Na me can be about announcement. And mami me announcement. And me announcement. Say, and the friends in the Lord, may the peace of the Lord be with you. On behalf of the session and our minister in charge, Reverend Elizabeth, Reverend Letitia Kenny, I welcome all of you to today's service. It is our prayer that if today is your first time joining us, you always join us. At the end of this announcement, I will ask that those who came will stand for recognition. We continue with the announcement. Right. That thing is supposed to be part of the introduction. It doesn't mean you have to pause and go and call them before you continue with your main announcement that you are making. So that is why we have it's part of your introduction. You're making an introduction to say that if today is your first time of worshiping with us, we do appreciate you. And at the end of this announcement, we will recognize you. Don't pause your announcement. Continue with your announcement. And everything you say as you are standing should be written. I'm sure that if we do this, the church members will see difference in our way of doing things. But at the obi say, "Oh, bani fun ayira, upu afama no." Mami bi so oba no, then na sasa na ye odi fun ba no ayira. You know, oba so she obi so car park ho, and no say ayira. Say for say suban tan na moye nde munya, de obi ansuma we. Just go by announcement. Yes. A woman reports of a missing phone. It has the inscription, Mamiya. Anyone who has found it should please send it to the Secretariat for onward submission to the person. Again, I want to remind you of our upcoming district session, which will take place at Inshra Congregation. All delegates are to take notes of the following. Please see your group leader if you're part of it and pay for your delegates conference fee. What the serious? I didn't know, man. What the serious now, man? You know, you are giving the thing. It's an announcement. Announcement today. TV. So I didn't say the announcement. You know, oh man, you know, with all seriousness, because what tradition now can. So if anything happens, they are coming to see what you have written, and if you have not written that, that is your own accord. So ministers in charge, clerks and secretaries, please make sure that whatever you read is written in the book. If it's not written, don't do that. What this total because of the ubicature. But you must make sure that you can adjust to my ear. Do we have Thanksgiving offering? Our dear sister, Mama Veronica, would want to thank the Lord for adding another year to her age. She asked that we all meditate on Psalm 3, verse 1. We all meditate on Psalm 3, verse 1. So out of all the persons that come to thank God, we'll read only a passage. We cannot read every passage that someone brings. So in writing the announcement, you must be artistic in nature to say that, okay, this person has said that the Thanksgiving should go with Psalm 23. Yes, she will say, yeah, though she walked through the valley of the shadow of death, she fears no evil. Then you move to the next one. You have paraphrased, making it very exciting. And then you move to the next one as well. When you are done, all those who came to thank the Lord would want to be up for prayer, or if there should be a song for that. You must always make sure that your announcement does not exceed 10 minutes. Your announcement does not and should not exceed 10 minutes. Else, make it that when they come to church, they want to hear the clerk speak. They want to hear the secretary make an announcement because, you know, the person makes it so lovely for them. All right, I see some hands up, and I'm so particular about this announcement stuff. Awuku-Gyampoh.
Thank you, Papa. 2 questions, please. Where what have I called it here? Oh, okay. So the announcement have been prepared and
endorsed.
There are
endorsed by the announcement is prepared and endorsed by the minister, according to Article 11.
Yes. So that's been done, but you get instant ones, as you made an example. On your way, somebody issues you with some information, or, for example, lost items. So how do we manage that? Because that can become a bit complex.
I'm sure that's why we are all learning. Today, I take it as a school, and we are learning. I thank God, getting over 100, almost 130 people on the line doing this. We are happy, and we know that it's going to go far. Now, that one becomes auxiliary. It becomes an auxiliary. It's not part of what you are talking about. That's why most of the people use IT. We use, what do you call it? Screens and projectors. You should just project it on. It shouldn't even come through your program. And another way that we have spoken to streaming experts, and they have said that, look, Presbyterian Church of Ghana, you got to evaluate your streaming. We stream from procession to recession, and that is not attractive enough on the internet. If you want to cause traffic with your programs on the internet, you don't go that route. You can make sure, okay, we are bringing praises and the sermon. When we are done, we are done. That can internal. Yet me ya koya announcement you be pa boy say okay be pa boy yire nyina be Presbyterian platform so na announcement you say 3 hours when the business time I go show video or YouTube 3 hours. When these charismatic churches are just sprouting and giving 30 minutes, giving 1 hour, and it's so attractive and causing traffic. So we should also look at these things. And it will help. Someone has said the unnecessary comment, the jokes, take away the importance of the message. And the recipient, plus all these announcements can be, the announcements are legal documents. Please, Mami, they are legal documents. So sorry. What is an announcement book? That is why if you joke with an announcement book, assemble I'll be so big cry. Assemble no can go be pebis. And walk come. Let us all try to get a book and make. All right, thank you. I see Uncle Seth Tete, brother.
Papa.
Sorry, Papa.
Please,
Hold on. There's some noise at the background. There's some noise. Right.
To make a contribution to the announcement, that need.
Okay, go ahead.
Read from what has been written and has been approved.
That's right.
I heard that there was a legal issue concerning an announcement. So they sued a church for an announcement which was made. And that was that written document that helped the church.
Jesus.
And that is why it's very, very important to read what.
Tete, you are using a different microphone, right? Then I muted. I thought it was a feedback. So it means, okay, Tete, it means you are on and Eric is on. So it's giving me a feedback.
No, Papa, mine is it's muted. I just unmute myself. I was listening.
Okay. So yes. So no. But Eric, who is Eric? Eric, your line is making noise. Please go mute it, please. Thank you very much. Papa Tete, I want to hear you more.
Yeah. Papa, with the announcement, there is something that I've realized with all the comments that we make about announcement. Yeah, Chedodo was a checho moche, you take too long a time.
Okay, hold on.
I've had so many.
Hold on. Mr. Tete, were you the one talking, or it was Eric who was talking?
It was Eric. I just started speaking.
Okay, wait. Then I'm unfair to Eric because I thought you were the one speaking. So, brother Eric, please complete yours. Please complete. But Eric, if someone is also on the Zoom, then distance yourself from the person.
No, Papa, there is nobody here. I'm even in a car.
Okay, then can you take the earpiece off?
No, I'm not using an earpiece.
Okay, please speak.
Okay, what I'm saying is that I've heard that somebody has taken a church to a court on an announcement made. Somebody has sued a church on an announcement made. So that is the reason we want the announcement to be written and endorsed by the minister. So in case there is an issue, a legal issue, that document can be used to defend yourself. So it's very, very important that we write it not on a sheet of paper, but in a book, so that it can be kept for reference purposes.
That's right.
So that is what I wanted to contribute to the importance of writing the announcement and then being endorsed by the minister in charge.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Yes, Papa Tete.
Yeah, but like I was saying, with all the things that we say about announcement, I've had numerous occasions where I've made announcements on issues over and over and over, and congregants come and say, "Oh, I didn't cry there maintain that." How do you address such an issue?
Without it,
Papa.
One say your school be the first, and they be the same. We have this idiosyncrasies, right? And independent attention span no cover. Besides America, why not this announcement in the ontie because a wadodo to I see and I do not tell. That's why we want to find other ways of making the announcement. Say your church platform. And from Monday to Saturday, and you just press record. Sometimes more media team, you just go and sit behind it, make it lively. Yes, the announcement for the week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have video, bare 2, 3, 4 minutes. What they are top platform until the whole week in at the end of that, sorry, at the end 1, 2. Now you call. And I'm sure, sir, let's get some of these way of making our announcements so lovely. Others also have a program, the bulletin. You can put the announcement behind the bullet, and that also helps in circulating. Again, you have the streaming. I'm sure HR department will have to look at that. Say, we organize a workshop for all IT personnel who stream programs online. Say, when you're doing that, you can also be putting some announcement that is for public consumption. But to me, escrow, LRC, then also and NMC. Why? That's it.
Yeah, right. Please, I'll add this. If we have most of our congregations, we have WhatsApp pages. Please, the secretaries and clerks, create an information platform which is only accessible to you and Papa, the minister in charge. That's where you could put such informations. But if you put it on the general platform where they put birthdays and all the co-meanings, it will come back to the same point. Somebody will say, I've not even seen it because of those things that are put on those general platform, most people don't even access it. But if you have a one platform purposely for sending out information, I think that will help. And don't put the monies and things on that platform. You end up having people spreading your finances all over and all across the place. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. We have also encouraged people, as you have said, not to put your finance to the public domain, not to put your finance to the public domain. Don't stream this. Whom are you telling that to? Don't stream that. Right. Okay. Please, I see Mame and I'm not sure if it's the old hand that is out, but if it's the new hand, let's see, Mame.
Yeah, Papa, my contribution was about there's so many interruptions we have during announcement. You see, back in the days when we used to attend the Basel that we know, every announcement should get to the clerk by Saturday evening. If it doesn't get to the clerk by then forget about it, with the exception of maybe lost and found items. So is there any way we can institute that? Because sometimes the women class have announcement, men's, children's, and then it keeps going on and on and on and on. So is there any way we can institute a protocol that it doesn't get to the clerk by this time on Saturday, then it has to be postponed, or they have to find a different medium? That's my number one contribution. My number two, to avoid some of the important messages being missed, I think we all need to understand the type of things we post on church platforms. I don't think there's a reason for us to post other things posted on WhatsApp that has not been verified on church platform. Some of these things tend to absorb some of the most important things. So it is possible that people will come back and say, maintain that, because we are all concentrating on asofo omo kika mani obi a oda form asofo de ni 988 omo yem. So it boils up to those things. If we can separate the unnecessary things from coming to the church platform, the most important things that concerns the congregation will be absorbed. Thank you.
Thank you. When I was a young boy as a minister, now I'm 15 years in ministry, so I'm a big boy. I collapsed a church platform simply because I had spent energy to teach on Titan. Just as I finished preaching on Titan, they brought some anti-teaching, which is against Titan, on the platform. I told the session clerk, collapse the WhatsApp platform now. Collapse it now. Until I left that place, that WhatsApp platform never resurrected. I said, no. And so what you're saying is very true. Obi Owa, WhatsApp platform, no. Sebi, Mr. Mo, adie hu hia nkwa na de bia on my better platform. And Mr. Mo, now, those days we didn't have that. Now, by the grace of God, we have administrators only, where you can take authority over the platform by certain key people, maybe the clerk,
Yes.
senior president, the minister in charge. All others, nothing is posted on the platform. You can't even access it. When we do that, I believe that at that time, if we had administrators only, we would have salvaged the situation. But I realized that it was a clique of people that just decided to speak against Titan. And so whenever I'd gone to teach people on Titan, by the time I drive home, they will call Papa, quash a platform. Also, and then I say, that in yet, me that I say, we need to have a three-way Mungu platform, no, because of them, they are mature on. We can't confuse anybody with what is not Presbyterian.
Exactly.
Yes, thank you, Papa. What I wanted us to clarify, where there are district level services, in terms of the announcements, does it have to be the district level announcements as well as the local congregations announcements?
Yes.
Thank you. So where there's a higher court, high level service,
yes, we do have that.
The announcements have to take.
Thank you very much. We do have that. We don't want to take responsibility for someone's error. That's why we don't say that, okay, now that the clerk of press is there, get the local announcement, get a district and go and announce. No, we leave the local, leave every court to do their own thing. So local bring the announcement, a district bring the announcement, presbytery bring the announcement. And whatever you bring, you are responsible for what you have said. And so if during those periods, we try to sieve the announcements too. We sieve them. We don't say everything. We try to sieve them. And then I said deadline for announcement. Yes, if you go back and tell the people what we have studied here, I'm sure they will comply. To say that deadline for submission of announcement should be 6 p.m. on Saturday, right? Sometimes mommy can say that. Sometimes Mr. Mo, yes, I deal. Obeka 6 p.m. But the be channel pana. No, I obi na down for announcement abe. No, so go catch it in as oh, me de ko share no ka no oje. Until next time no so the ban one je say yes. Papa mu sorry. And so making who na odwuma no went to me and for 9 nsifem. Mpempem time. Hwɛ. So person nipa nyina pɛ wasɛm a, you can never be an effective leader. And always, if you want the right thing to be done, you meet oppositions. So I would encourage you to make sure that the right thing is done. If it is no, it's no. A few times, most people want their way through. And the moment you say no, you become their enemy for life. But you continue to do the right thing. And at the end of the day, they will tell you, this person was effective. I'm telling you, there's no one who has fought you and you have remained focused who will not confess that this person is focused. Those of us who are clerks, those of us who are secretaries, we stand at the forefront. We are always seen. Every meeting, you are going to talk. Every congregational gathering, you are going to talk. And so you have to be firm. Once you are firm, they themselves say, when you are firm, what you confide in this one you. And that's it. I so favor on dear. Would you mind betting? A betting. The last one, chronicle writing, which if you know minute writing, chronicle writing will not be a problem. The chronicle writing is just like the minute writing, where you would have to write the occasion, the date. So you write occasion, the date. Then you write like, who was there? What was so special about the occasion? If it is like, for example, you are writing a chronicle, you are writing into the chronicle, what happened today? This is how I would write it. Seminar for clerks and secretaries on Friday, January 19th, 2024 at 7 p.m. The clerk of presbytery began the service with a prayer, or if someone was called with a prayer, and checked the roll, asked 2 districts to check the roll, the district for which is the New Jersey and Australia owned up to check the roll. The roll was checked as follows. Then you put it there. Right. The order of proceedings was given out. For example, telling you that today we'll have this, we'll have writing of minutes, we'll look at matters arising, we'll look at report presentation, we'll look at chronicle, we'll look at announcement. He puts there. In the discussion, several persons contributed to the brainstorming part of the meeting. It was very successful. In all, we got going back and forth, we got about 130 plus maximum. And at the time of closing, the number was 212. The following were asked to
121.
Sorry, yes, 121 as it is. So you report as it is and report with facts. Report with facts. And it's so important. So at the end of our meeting here, there should be some decisions that we'll take. Then you write the decision that we'll take. The one that wrote it must sign first. Because if you, the one that wrote, don't sign first and go and sign last, we'll still not see who wrote it. Will be your trolley be or not sign first. So you sign first. Then, in order of those that you want them to sign, based on who the leaders are, at least get some witnesses, about 1 or 2 witnesses to be there. If your minister is there, your minister signs last. Your minister signs last. For example, you have had a confirmation service. You should write confirmation service, date, the time that this person led the service. Then you bring a brief message of what the preacher man or the preacher woman said. And then the following persons were the candidate for the baptism. You write their names there because for history, you write it there. Marriage, you also have to chronicle marriage. You have to write the marriage ceremony in the chronicle. Baptism, you have to write it in the chronicle. Naming ceremony, you have to write it in the chronicle because Sanyama we know a history, until you write all the friend is saying the sacraments. In the Presbyterian Church, we have the 2 sacraments, the sacrament of baptism and the sacrament of the Lord's Supper. So then they call communion this day, in your nipa say in the bar communion. Say, I mean, a special occasion, at least once a month, it's a chronicle, near true review. And when you're in Pine, no, we now cultural report, I'll call chronicle no more. Which means, okay, communicants consistently, averagely, we say. Some people also have the communion book. And that is also fine. And another thing that we all have to pray about it and discuss with our ministers, which we are losing touch, is what we call one-on-one with the minister. Back in Ghana, in the week preceding the communion, we have time with our ministers. You go to your minister. He prays with you. You talk about your problem. We discuss together. And so you can see that if for the whole month, no one has even asked, how are you? You have even gotten no one to even share the challenge and the kind of a burden you have. You have gone to your minister and you have been prayed with. And I'm sure that would also develop. Let's all not think of just the people bringing their tithe, but let's think of how we can also think about them. Think about their welfare. Think about their business. Sometimes you just meet somebody randomly and say, Papa, can I see you? Papa, my 3 months in you. Me near Juma. Was so me say me a mom pie. A bomb pass, Papa, me das you. Say you na madam be friend, me near Juma, me call. Sometimes it's faith. Faith. And if you use faith to do it, I'm sure. But come baby, card could go. You find commerce for crab and inside. Tilipano or theater, we are crying sign, but cat no Google. When we do that, it doesn't attract the people. It doesn't make them feel part of the church. Well, let me end here. It's 10:15. My name is Awuku-Gyampoh. I'm sure you have benefited from this. So, what are the decisions that we have taken? One, the decision is that every report must include the locals as well as the groups, what they have done. Try to include them. So please, the secretaries, the clerks, write the decisions that we have taken, that when they are presenting the report to the district, include. The include means sum up. Because one, we have the last part of it. The last part of the program is that you have to get the notable event. After you are finished on the committees, you have to notable event. The notable event is a summary of things that you don't need to go through objectives, blah, blah, blah. You say that one. So one, for example, one, New Jersey district made a donation to the Akosombo victims of the Akosombo spillage at Mepe. Now they are told, New Jersey district had the health screening exercise, which brought the mayor of Orange County into the program. And a lot of nationals also took part in this health screening exercise. New Jersey district had a youth expo, which is called the Gospel Chala, which the church was full to capacity, historic in its sense. New Jersey district with New York district youth had a joint youth lifts, and that got membership close to over 150 in attendance. You record it straight to the point. And all notable events, please add dates to it. All notable events, please add dates to it. We can write them without dates. It is the date that makes it historical. It's the dates that makes it. The dates that make it historical. All right, I'm done.
Papa, Papa, are you there?
Yes. Somebody just sent me that I didn't finish. Mama, please, 1 minute. Somebody sent me a message. I didn't finish the decisions. Okay, so the decision number 2. What's the decision number 2? All of us, what is the decision number 2? The decision number 2 is that our announcement should not go beyond 10 minutes. So whether you come and sing a hymn, you come and read, you come and do, you should not go beyond 10 minutes. That's our decision number 2. What is our decision number 3? What is our decision number 3? Our decision number 3 is that we should always make sure the minute has matters arising in the previous minute, which means that you have to do your homework before presenting the minutes to the people. Do your homework. Look at the item, look at the action, look at the responsibility, look at the remarks before you take it there. What is the last one? What is the last one, please? What is the last decision that we've taken?
Must be decision that
Also, platforms must have, we must form the platforms in a way that we just do, only admins can post to the page.
Powerful.
Yes, only admins.
I don't know whether this is also a decision that minutes and other things, announcement must be endorsed by the agents.
So one, from what Love said, all WhatsApp platform must be restricted, must be restricted to administrative use only. And then all announcement, this one quite is constitutional. I think we are constitutional. That constitution, all announcements are supposed to be prepared in consultation with the agent in charge. No circumstance will an announcement be made without the endorsement. So that more can members now. Oshiawa, we them say, oh, me tonkumbi, me water kubi or me feel with them patcho, who could the yamame. Wow. But it must be endorsed. It be crap what saying kuna okam. Ye verify in kuye. Standard boards and shares had you way. No announcement, no be a cotton when yasem. Yes, on I ye, on our tongue. Not just no so, sorry no. Edin Echo in a bad book. Right. And Pacho, I'm sure we have gotten the decisions.
I think, Papa, there's one more. I don't know if it was a decision we made.
That
the fact that there should be a deadline for when announcements are provided to the announcer or the clerk.
Okay. So
if congregations can institute that.
All announcement, because you have WhatsApp platforms, you have telephone numbers, you have WhatsApp numbers, and even any person or can the whole week in up to Saturday you went to me and what's back. So you can yes, so all announcements should have a deadline of Saturday evening because sometimes click paper sorry no. Yeah, so na fina go for dinner chinema bontia or person or announcement. And it doesn't speak well of us as a church. So there should be deadlines. Please, the decisions we want to circulate them. It's very important. And we are in past clerks.
Yes,
All right. Last one.
Please, may I ask a question? Please.
Okay. Can we finish the decision so that we don't miss it? Are we done with the decisions? Because these are very technical to our meeting today. Is there anything we have?
The decision is off.
I put one in the chat that I think you said to try to chronicle at least once a month.
Yes. Have you asked a question on that?
No, I'm saying, can that be a decision too or not?
Yes, because there are some people a whole year Chronicle control me down.
No, Papa, so Miss Lester, who should write in the Chronicle?
Yes.
Who writes in the Chronicle?
No, you see, per the Constitution, the clerk is responsible for keeping records and all other things pertaining to the church. So the Chronicle, under the instruction of the minister, you instruct to write. The clerk cannot come and say, give me the Chronicle, I want to, so what are you going to write? That is why anything that is written is in consultation. It's so powerful. Constitution, a powerful power. Also in consultation with the agent in charge. So if it is like mentally, BBS, you are sorry no more, you bet me a trego, a woman I am there's something there. There's something that has happened. So in a month, try and make sure say there's something that has happened in the church that we should write in our chronicle. And it's idea we can't get history. We have to build history with time. And let's also make it a chronicle. No? Again, let's use the lawyer's term that once a month, anything that is found relevant, worthy of living for posterity, must be chronicled. Hence, I see intro. And right. And so let's add the clause say relevant. Right. It's something that we feel say as a CJ. What do you do? Be able to be a child, sorry, or be a baby. I dare say true boom now. I say true boom. You guys say, oh, say, watch a crap. Why you be a master? And truly dingum. And so should be crying. I'm on swine, sir. Fine. I think I'll take the last but one. There's a man that is it Rashid? Rashid speaking.
Yes, please, Papa. Okay. Mine is just a question and also part of the decision making. That we must be firm because we can't please everybody.
That's right.
In our announcements. Now, everything that we have learned about announcements is very, very educational and informative. I don't know about everybody, but for me as a session clerk. But here is a dilemma. Some of these decisions that we make, I think, must come from the minister in charge to the congregation. And I can speak from my experience that sometimes when you or when I make such decisions, it becomes kind of hard for people to swallow. And it seems like you're in a crucible or in their crucible to be grounded. So it's very tough. This information, I think, in my humble opinion, should be channeled to our minister in charge to bring this to the congregation so that they are aware that we, the secretaries or the clerks, it's not us making these decisions. So that is what I will ask of you, if possible, to pass this information on, what we have learned today, to all the ministers in charge. Thank you.
Okay. That is also very fine. So thank you for this opportunity, which means that right from here, once we get the decisions, we'll also try to meet the district ministers, and then just as we have met you, and we also brainstorm on the decisions, and we'll pass it on. The district ministers will then also, we know in the president we have this channel, we have this chain of command, right? And so that if the clerk of president should meet all ministers, then what do you be a Jumao? And I also channel it through my bosses, the district ministers, and then the district ministers will also channel through their ministers in their various locality. And I'm sure that would help. But again, if there is any upcoming ministers conference or ministers platform, I may ask for a slot to also push this through to them. And they are all aware that they are coming to this meeting today. So whatever you have studied, especially the decisions, you can also pass it to them because they are aware. Every minister is aware that we are having this meeting. And you say, I'm sure definitely they will ask, and then you take decisions. They're quiet. And you know, say, wait. Decisions in the moment they have from runs on the upon. Clerks, moment they have decisions, the man in then sending my clerks, almost sending comma. A friend is saying, look at Biano. The show, one of soft Kaya Koyan, winnie, decided. And I'm say, I'm gonna move, but I can't, and I may bore man, say, winnie see, but you're saying no super boy. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you, Papa.
Our time is really up. Can we get someone to move for us a closure of the meeting because it's almost 10:30.
I, Esme Obinsi, move for the closure of this meeting.
Okay. Esme Obin of which district?
Your district.
Yes. Okay. I think I've had a question here. There's one question also here. I think there's this kind of a misconception. Don't let me use misconception. There's this challenge of who should sign first? Who should sign first in the Chronicle? Right.
The person recorded it.
Yes. Who is seconding? Let's see the one second, then I'll clarify this and we'll go. Who is seconding?
Agnes Odonko of Texas, Oklahoma District.
Hey, Auntie Aggie. Yo, Auntie Aggie. So let me just do this. Considering writing skills, right? I'm coming from the writer's perspective that if you write a note, you sign first. If you write a note, because if I write the note and you don't know who wrote it, that becomes difficult. So I've seen people say that, oh, when you write it, this minister should sign first. That's also not bad. Once you write and whoever is the head signs first, then you sign second. But there's a penny for penny did an answer. Right. So I go by that slogan, say penny kasanasa. And see me, I'm trying to sign. Usually I would ensure that the chairperson signs last. And if the moderator is here, the moderator signs last. Right. So let's go by this. But anytime you have an officer from the head office, when you finish, ask the officer there, please, would you want to sign first? You get it? But if I come to your station, I don't want to pay my home to sign first. I never wrote anything. You wrote it yourself. So sign that you wrote. And then we will serve as witnesses. All of us there, apart from the one that wrote it, we are witnesses. We are only witnessing that this happened. Okay? Because if I write my article, I have to sign before the reviewers will bring their point that they have reviewed my script and it meets the standard for publication, and they would publish it. Why? Okay. I can see this an exciting moment, and surely maybe we'll get to meet one more time before the end of the year. That will depend on our output, what we bring to the presbytery. Okay. Now let us pray. Let us pray. Our dear Father, we are very grateful to you for such a beautiful occasion, having to brainstorm and to look at how your church should run. We thank you for the incarnation of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who died on the cross and rose again on the third day and ascended into heaven, and is seated at the right hand side of God, the Father Almighty. We therefore pray that as we are going, grant us the wisdom to put into practice everything that we have come to study. Also, as we stand before the congregation and the group every now and then, give us the courage that we shall influence our people positively to your own glory. In Jesus' name, amen. Let us all share the words of the grace. Let's all unmute ourselves and share the words of the grace, smiling, saying, may the grace of our
May the
Lord
grace of our Lord
Jesus
Jesus
Christ,
Christ,
the
the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy
of
Spirit
Christ,
be with us
God,
now.
and forevermore. Amen.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you,
Bless
Papa.
you. Thank you.
Return my reporter. Return my reporter.
Thank you.
From California, for now, me joining you, to me joining later.
Hey, the present out. Oh.
But your present in.
Okay, Baba, God bless you. Have a pleasant evening. Pleasant night. Bye-bye.
Yeah.